Hello and welcome to the Crow's Nest. My name is Brandon Kane, and I'm smiling today. I'm going to be smiling all day, almost no matter what happens, though I think we're going to be pretty competitive today in this particular baseball game that we are playing October 7th. And that's the reason we're playing October 7th is why? Because we, after a long 20-year wait, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, after a long 20-year wait, we have found ourselves back in the playoffs. There we go. Let's go. That's right. Your Seattle Mariners are back. It's been a long period of time. There's been fans that have fallen off and come back and fallen off, and some have just stayed away. But many now, you can hear them, are starting to step forward to come back into it here a little bit. You can feel it. Puts a smile on my face. I'm going to be smiling all day today, kind of no matter what. I can't wait to see what's going to happen here. We got one hell of a tough matchup facing us today, but we're back, folks. No longer are they going to get to point at this and say, well, it's been 20 years since they made the playoffs. Let's not remember, too, it's been 20 years, and heart was broken. 2001, you went 116 games. You look, no doubt you're going to win the World Series. This is one of the most special teams of all time, say nothing of that year. And the Yankees. Always the damn Yankees. Come back in, put you down with their little bloated payroll, juiced dudes to the nine. I'm getting texted up like a mofo. 1 second. I don't know why it is. There's something within people that possess them when I go live to instantly start just spam texting me. Oh, it drives me crazy. It's like whoever has my number and then has me on the channel and they know it's like, I'm on live, don't text me. And it's the one time I don't put my phone on silent. Here comes the flood. It's like, goodness, chill. But I'm psyched up for this game. This is going to be a tough series for us. Let's make no mistake about that. This Toronto team is legit. They've got the type of lineup I think they can even give our starting pitching some problems. So I'm certainly worried in that respect of things to a bit of a degree here. But, as I've said in this playoffs, nobody's expecting anything out of us. We're a young team on the rise. People are surprised we're even here. Nobody thinks anything of that. So there's a little bit of you can kind of own a little bit of hey, we're playing free and easy here. There's no pressure for some of these teams in this playoff series that are going to be under that type of pressure. That are going to go, hey, now's our time to go out there and get this done here, or we're going to be reaching into the end of our era of things. So yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what happens today. And again, I'm just getting blown up. I don't know what's going on. People are so weird about this stuff. They'll just start contacting you like, dude, it's the game. Chill. Why right now? You could have called me all day. All right, so we got a 1:07 start time here. We got 12:36. We got a little bit of time here to talk a little bit about this matchup. We're going to have Luis Castillo taking the hill today for our Mariners. And on the other side, the Blue Jays will counter with their ace, Alek Manoah. So it's going to be a tough uphill battle for both lineups theoretically. Interesting enough, I'm sure many of you might be wondering as well where we're going to be at with left field, as I think probably Swaggerty. Drip Swaggerty would be starting here in left field if not for that injury. So he is going to be replaced today by Kelnick in the lineup in left field. And they're interesting bottom of the order lineup today. Kelnick, Frazier, Crawford. I kind of like it. Interesting way they suit that. They've had Crawford a little bit higher in the lineup at times, but that does make sense. No great surprises outside of just that him going down there, and then you have Cal Raleigh hitting cleanup here, which is interesting as well. A little bit of a lefty injection there into the middle of the lineup here, as you are kind of right-handed heavy. It's Julio, Ty, Suarez, three righties. Then you're going lefty with Cal Raleigh in the lineup. Then you're back to righty. Switch hitter Santana, lefty. So it does change up there, but they definitely went right heavy at the top of the lineup, which is interesting. Toronto's countering with Springer, Bichette, Guerrero, Kirk, Hernandez, Chapman, Tapia, Jensen, and Merrifield, second baseman, with the way they're going to run their lineup as well. So It's a tough lineup. Spectre 7, let's go, man. Good to see you in the chat. Osama bin Diesel. We finally did it. We finally did it, man. I'm so happy we got over this hump, and I'm glad we got over the hump a little bit quicker than some thought. Just means it's that much faster to maybe really truly contending for a World Series. And like I said, if you can, this team, it sounds homerish, I know, but this team this year has been about being hot. If we're going to really, it's a magic of coming from behind. They've had, I think, a franchise record for comeback victories or walk-off wins. They play a lot of close games. All those things are, completely true. But there's also a little bit of an aspect of this team that is them when they get hot and rolling and it's all clicking. And it's that a synergy kind of going on a bit. And when they lose it, it's really, they're scuffling. It's like they're searching in the dark for their keys on the floor in a warehouse. And where is this? Where is this? We can't. But when they've got it, look out. As I said, I don't think there's a team in baseball that can beat us. We'll see if they're going to have that hot aspect to them or not, or if they're in a little bit of a cold stage. The good news to me is at least you've got really the full strength of your lineup, maybe minus, obviously, Swaggerty. That's definitely the one that hurts a little bit for what he brings to the lineup, not just for his hitting, of course, but defense and speed on the base pads. And hopefully Kelnick, this is where Kelnick, man, now is the time. Now is the time in this series to start showing that guy that you are. We need you in that way. And hopefully he will hold up over there in left field defensively wise. I haven't seen him as much over there this year. So I don't know how comfortable he is over there. I'm a little worried about that. But he does bring a little bit more of the power bat to play here in this lineup and that potential with this. And he's not bad high in the lineup. So see how it goes there. Top G Sports, what's up, man? Kronos, this is exactly what I've wanted. Me too. I think we're gonna have more for the years to come. Daniel W says, I'm so excited. How can you not be, man? How can you not be just hyped to the moon here? And it is still a little early for me, folks. I was up late last night working on some hot content, so we're gonna be doing a Russell video here soon. Mariners need that Geno Smith offense. We do. We need somebody to be Geno in the lineup here, and more than just Julio. Julio can't just be asked to carry this whole series on his back a little bit. Like offensively, we've asked him to do at times. That's where I come back to, though, at least as far as you look at it, you'll say, hey, we had the full strength of our lineup. Maybe not at all times this year. Guys were in and out, but you got to the spot in the playoffs when it mattered, and you had your full strength as well as you could have asked. And we'll see where that allows everything to lie. I do think it'll give you a little bit more, as much as it's just a short series and you shouldn't take too much away from a 3-game series. It's going to go in addition to what you've seen throughout the year. This gives you the chance to, okay, what do we really think of Kelnick? Kelnick comes into the series and he falls flat on his face. You can't tell me that that's not going to color a little bit of the way the organization views him and his future here. But same thing will go true, I think, about guys like Mitch Haniger in this series. So there is, I guess, I'm not saying there was no pressure on this team, but there may be some little bit of pressure, I guess, on some particular players in the way their future is going to go here. Osama bin Diesel, Mariners. Osama says the Jays need to get Russell Wilson offense. Yeah, we definitely need the Jays on the Wilson offense. Oh my God, he's getting slaughtered today. Slaughtered. I knew it was going to be bad. The knives were going to come out after that performance nationally, not just locally with the Broncos, but the national bootlickers of Wilson here through the off season and now this are we're going to pivot very quickly. You could see after that performance, it was just too undeniable at that point. And Lordy, he's definitely getting the business. He's getting the post-play business right now. Daniel says, I feel bad for Bronco fans being stuck with Russell's contract. I wonder what is the most dead cap they'd be willing to eat is. There is no way Russell's going to be able to compete in that division versus Pat Mahomes, Herbert in the coming years. Not happening. Hard to see, Daniel. Definitely hard to see because he's going to have to be highly productive and put a lot of points on the board. And he's been struggling here, and he's been struggling in Seattle for the last year and a half prior to this year in that respect. So that the thought process that that's just going to turn around in an instant. Usually quarterbacks don't have nearly 2 years of bad play, and suddenly the light bulb turns back on in their mid-30s. That's been a rare story told in professional football. Question on whether they're going to be willing to eat money, Daniel. I mean, maybe. I don't. Obviously, they're not going to be able to do anything this offseason with him. But if it gets so bad next year, like it's been as bad as it this year, they'll get to then after next offseason and just probably at that point say this is just not working anyway. We'll just take the full hit. We'll have our cap, hurt for a single year. We'll get the number 1 overall pick and we'll move on. I don't think that they're going to just keep him there for 3 years, 4 years, just simply because they're going to be like the dead cap's too big. Teams are starting to do more of a we'll just swallow the dead money and make our peace with it. Top Cheese Sports says, I hate the Blue Jays. I hadn't hated them for a while, Top Cheese. I always appreciated there was a team up in, you saw Montreal was not able to get much from their fan base as far as really interest goes. And it was cool to see Toronto was always able to get that and then have some success. Where I begin to be a little more in the realm of now I hate them, and a Blue Jay is a dirty, dirty bird. Just it's the filthiest of the air birds. The filthiest. Is because they come into our stadium and they get obnoxious. And they took advantage of us when we were down. They came in there and overtook our stadium when we were obviously not in a place to fill it up like we normally would if the team was even somewhat competitive. And then they come in there and they gang up on our people in the stadium and then rub our nose in it. I'm dirty, filthy animal. Feathers don't look good when it's flying. Can't fly right. It's a one-winged animal, really. Little silly little feet. Can't even call them talons at the end of that thing. Those little twigs. Chrono says, did you see Coward's take from last night? Was versus this morning? Someone got a call from one Mr. Roger. Yes, I did see that. And yeah, he did stifle down his take just a little bit versus his volume channel and what he was saying on that, what he said on Fox today. And yeah, I'm sure with Colin right now, he is in a place where he knows internally in his, his instincts. I don't know if I want to call it journalistic instincts because that would be, mislabeling it. But whatever instincts he has inside him that is, I want to try to say what's true and real, as opposed to it being a manipulated point of view, is getting torn right now, been pulled, and you could see it last night as he was talking about it. Where do you find your excuses? Those 2 interceptions in a close game are inexcusable. You don't blame it on your line. You don't blame it on somebody else. You don't blame it on the coach. He threw absolutely dumb passes on those interceptions. Those were ridiculous throws. But it's also throws that are not one-offs. It's throws we've seen here quite a lot on some of those interceptions he has thrown. And it's the same story over and over there again with Wilson on that. But yeah, he'll get around there eventually because unfortunately I don't think Wilson's getting any better here. I'm not going to take too much away from last night. I think he'll eventually settle down and be somewhat okay. But I certainly don't think I think the days of him being elite outside of having a stacked team up in front of him are long gone. Osama Ben Diesel, remember when people thought Suarez was the bad piece in that trade? I do. Yeah, I do. And props to Suarez here, Osama. I mean, the fact that he's been able to maintain the power in this stadium and that left field porch for right-handed power hitters that have a high strikeout rate has been a death knell in recent history. It's not worked out too well for them. And he's overcome it. And not only did he have a good amount of home runs with that, but he had real timely home runs, which was even more better in that respect. You'd like the average to be a little bit higher, but considering where Winker ended up, you're like, oh, it's okay, Eugenio. Hey, Eugenio. And hey, the defense too. Guy's got a little bit, I'm not going to call him fast, but he's got some legs. He's reasonably athletic. I like how he fields the position too. He's one of those guys I really don't come back to. I mean, I theoretically we could go at third base, but I really feel good about third base going forward. He's not one of those places, at least for the next year, I look to, do anything with there. Daniel, 80 million or OFL? You think they would eat 80 million? I mean, think about it, Daniel. It gets bad this year, and we are 5 games in, and Bronco fans were leaving in a tie game that was headed into overtime. And I'm not overstating it. They were leaving in mass. They were leaving like a sea of people out the door. And then you, like, Brendan was on the cast with me last night. And he's like, well, they're just probably, maybe they're just going to the bathroom or something like that. And then then the telecast does Denver even more dirty because they go to the outside of the stadium and they show the parking lot, the people walking in mass out of the stadium to the parking lot. Not a great look. Bronco fans are already out in that way. You tell me another year and 13 games of this, they're going to be saying 80 million schmillion. Get him. It's time to move on. Jackson Shore, Brando can't stay. Going to watch with my buddies at UW, but love the live streams, and let's get this dub. Hashtag Go Mariners. Hey, thank you, Jackson, man. Hopefully it's going to be a fun one. It's exciting. I'm going to be here back-to-back days, so I'll be back at this again tomorrow. But let's get this dub. And please do hit that like button if you could for me. If you haven't already, I really, really appreciate it. Wu-Tang Financial. Let's go, M's. Let's go. Mark Harpercorn. Damn game not on in Montana. The other game is on a bet note. Russ trade's looking better every week. Like and sub for this hard-working man. Yeah, I'm going to be doing, I think, a video, Mark, on my next video of just next little short video I'm going to put together on a little bit of what's going to be looking likely for that draft pick based on where we stand right now. And I think we're going to get a pretty firm picture here pretty quickly about, well, I think we have right now, not quickly. Right now, I think we have. It's when you put together the issues they have right now with Hackett looking way in over his head, with what Russell looking reduced in his capacity, potentially even injured, and then you factor in now the growing injury situation that they're going to have. I do think it's a very real, feasible possibility here. We're looking at a top 5 pick in the upcoming draft, which then, of course, means a top 5 pick in the second round. So I'm going to put it, I think that's going to be the next video I put together, but that does suck. They don't have your game on, man. I'm hoping everything works out good with me here and that I have ESPN Plus. This is supposed to be on ESPN Plus. So I'm hoping that the app doesn't cause me any problems with my ability to log in either here. But I'm logged in. It should let me play. Was able to watch some other stuff on this, so hopefully this doesn't let me down. Don't let me down, Bruce. Don't let me down. Let's see if it's letting me watch the. Yeah, see. Hopefully it doesn't do this. Do. Yeah, I just tried to. It's not letting me do that one. I think that's because that's on TV right now. So. It's ESPN3. That's why. I get nervous on these apps, man, because you're supposed to be able to watch them. You do your research on, like, it's on this, and if you do that with that, but they got so many rules. So many rules in this world. Daniel, okay, if it's on ESPN, you can pay $10, I guess. Yeah, I have my ESPN logged in account. I'm logged in right now, but it's ESPN Plus gets weird with that. Is it ESPN 2? Is it ESPN 3? I mean, do you have ESPN 3.5 with the Plus package and the razzmatazz? Yeah. Just let me watch my game. But I should be good, Daniel. Chrono says, I just looked on it on my end and says I can watch on ESPN for free without an account. Okay, there we go. Well, thank God. Thank the heavens. Brandon, what do you think of the Wagner problem? Which Wagner problem, Mark? Bobby with the Rams? Kronos says at least it's the NFL Plus where you can't even watch all the games if you have the premium. Drives me crazy too as well, man. Oh, wow. I'm going to get my stream demonned here. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. It's going to get turned off if we keep doing that. Why did I go to there? Jeez, I'm an idiot. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. so MLB.com. All right. We're home. We're home here. But yeah, the NFL Plus thing drives me crazy, man. I don't understand why. I know why they do it, because they can parse it all out to other stuff. At the end of the day, that's their whole gig, right? Is that they want to be able to chop it up a little bit. Be able to, okay, Amazon, you get your piece, and ESPN, you get your piece, and it's still silly though, because they could charge a pretty good price just per customer and probably make all the same money without all of the jumping around in hoops. In fact, they probably could make more. But Osama says 1977 expansion matchup. Only one may survive, Osama. Only one team from 77 may go forward. This will be like Highlander. We'll take in their soul. Oh, Mark. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, the protesters. They filed a police report and want to sue because he tackled them, laughing my ass off. I often mention, Mark, we're in such a soft time right now. It was such a soft age. Go back and look, like Dick Butkus at one point came up and forearm shivered a guy. Hit him so hard he took the guy out and the security guard out. And there's a lot of moments like that in not just NFL but college. And it's an unspoken rule of thumb that every generation understood prior to this. If you're going to be a moron who goes on a football field in front of 70,000 people to do whatever you're about to do for whatever reason you're trying to do it, understand that now you are fair game to get lit the hell up. You are on a football field with testosterone-filled guys that are in gladiator mode, and you're like a little fawn deer running around on the little. It's too tantalizing for them to not just come over and that guy, in Bobby's defense too, like that guy's carrying this new stuff with. I'm not just gonna run on the field. Now I've got this thing that's smoking out of my hand, and I don't care if it's purple colored. It's like, what is that smoking in your hand? And you're running at me with it. Like, I might have some instincts as I'm in that mindset too, to take that guy and let him know this is not the appropriate time. But now he's going to sue, yeah. And, the sad part is Bobby's going to settle and pay him $30,000 for that guy to be, and you really backtrack the whole thing at that point. It comes down to that guy being an idiot, and he had it coming. I hope he doesn't settle too, Daniel, but from Bobby's standpoint, it's going to cost him more in lawyer fees at that point to go through all that. Potentially. I hope not. I hope we still live in a world where that slaps on a judge's desk. He watches the tape and he's like, yeah, there's no case here. There's no case here. I'm glad he did it. Don't be an idiot and go on the field. That's not your time. Like it's this. I blame Will Smith, really. Oh gosh. I mean, kind of, but not really, but kind of. Can I say it like that? Like, I kind of blame Will. Like, everybody now is like, we got drones going over fields, right? Like, we got all this kind of stuff going on, and you go, okay, like, okay. You're not part of the action here. You're there to watch the action. So, browse. Okay. MLB. All right. We're about 8 minutes away here. This stuff better. Okay. Hasn't started yet. I'm going to be so annoyed if this doesn't work. Robert, what's up, my brother? It's good to see you in here. Always brings a smile on my face. My brother comes in the chat. Says, so excited for the M's playoffs. Love you, bro. Hey, I love you too, bro. It's good to see you, man. And we'll get cooking tonight on the game Everyone say what's up to Rob. My blood's in the house. Wu-Tang, bro, what do you expect running onto the field? You better be ready for some action, Jackson. That's what I'm saying, Wu-Tang. Like, okay, you run on the field. It's not a capital offense. I'm not going to throw you in jail for years on end. I'm not going to take your life away. But I am going to give Ray Lewis an opportunity to take your soul and remove it from your body. I do want to allow that. Call me the evil emperor with my thumb. But my thumb goes like this. Bobby, you shall do your worst. Daniel says, I mean, that guy definitely has a 6-figure job at a tech company and grew up sheltered, never dealing with adversity in his life. Again, I work at a tech company, but I'm from the inner city. 90% of my coworkers remind me of that guy. People that just grow up with a Twitter fingers on the computer don't understand real life interactions with humans in the real world. Agreed, man. It certainly didn't scream of a guy that went through a hard knock life. Like, I went through all this. I've gone through all this life. I've grinded. I've college and paid for my college. I had to go to work at the same time I'm going to school. You know, I had to go it all. Now I'm going to put on this meat is death shirt and take this pink gender reveal dynamite stick and run out onto the football and national field to convince nobody. I think he made more people go actually buy a hamburger after that than anything else. If we're gonna be real about it, right? Like he definitely did not dissuade a single soul from going out and going, yeah, I'm still gonna eat meat. But yeah, that's not a guy that's gone through all that to arrive at that point. I don't buy it. Not at all. Alex Hyink says, yes, the Mariners are finally in the playoffs. How do you feel about that? I feel fantastic because a lack of getting to the playoffs this year might still have people looking at DePoto's approach, getting very finicky, impatient, and wanting to see a quicker, okay, kitty, wanting to see a quicker return here. Like, like they're snapping their fingers in DePoto's ear. And it's time, sucker. Come on, let's get this going. Like, let's roll. And I think DePoto's has been right in his approach. His trades have been good. The money that he spent has been well spent. And this is in direct opposition to his predecessors. So to me, this celebrates that, which is good, which is right. And I think almost above anything else, I like that part of it first and foremost. But that still resides second to the fact that you have a really exciting young team that has all the right pieces in play, not only to make some noise in this particular playoffs. I got you. It's all right. My cat's just like gripping onto me right now. Not only that, but into the future, really continuing to contend for World Series. And makes me nothing but, as I say, Alex, just going to put a smile on my face for a large part of this day throughout this offseason as we go through it. And hopefully, we go deep in the playoffs. If this team's ready to roll, if they can tap into that spirit, and look, you were kind of getting tapped into that spirit at the end of the year, even against the Tigers team where we had a couple of more walk-offs we added. That's that kind of spirit I'm talking about here, where there's just that something about that team and their chemistry and their dynamic that when they're at their best, when they have that clicking all together, they're unstoppable in a lot of respects. But you can sometimes catch them cold as they started out the year, as they had that little bump there at the end of August into early September. Greg, we're finally here. Nitro Hawk, let's go. First playoff game. Let's go. Chrono says, bro, I still love that Will Smith slap. I mean, it's going to be a touchstone moment culturally wise, but it's also going to lead, I think, and has opened the door to people being like, maybe I can run on stage. Maybe I can go out there and I can be, people can look at me. I just got to get in front of the camera. If I just get in front of the camera, I'll be famous. So I think it's leading to a little bit of that. Just a bit. All right, come on now. Let's start this up here. Man, ESPN with the app ain't gonna let you like right up until game time with the app, huh? Like that. It's like that. I'm so worried on this that I'm going to go to like click it and it's just going to go, nope. Oh, they're saying ESPN. Well, guess they're not going to let me do it yet. Why don't they have like just they still don't. There we go. Oh, shoot. It's not going to let me, is it? Is it not on ESPN Plus? All right, guys. We might have a problem here. This is so hard to do this. So somebody was saying how we could watch it free. I got ESPN Plus, but it's now telling me that I don't. It's not going to let me do it with ESPN Plus. It's kind of silly with this stuff. See, it's like baseball's all about how they want to market the sport, and then they do this kind of stuff where I'm in the playoffs and I like can't. I got Fubo.tv. It's not on that. They're gonna have it over on this ESPN thing, but then you have ESPN, but then you can't watch it with ESPN Plus. I mean, like, and then they wonder why their sport doesn't grow. They wonder why people are like not tuned in. Like, do you guys care? I'm here going through this ESPN app now, and it's going to be, I can already tell this is going to be a whole thing now. Trying to just get to just watch. I've got your ESPN app. I got your app. Yeah, I waited until the game, and now it's asking for a TV provider. But I've got the ESPN app. Well, I don't know. This is... okay. Well, let's troubleshoot this. This is Major League Baseball is going to never be able to pull themselves up if they don't get their hands on this. Like, you're at a 1 o'clock game anyway, which is a silly start time. And then ESPN plays with you on the app. It made me think I was going to be able to watch the game. Had to go to YouTube just for a month, $65 to watch the playoffs. Yeah, it waited until... Well, at least I'm not the only one, so I'm not going to get too frustrated by it because... Well, it may be SOL here, folks. I had to go to... I don't know about wanting to go to YouTube. Do they have an under the table deal? This is so weird. It was supposed to be on ESPN Plus. I mean, this is so wild. They just changed it at the last second to ESPN 2. Interesting. Well, let me try my Fubu. Maybe it'll let me somehow from there. Oh, there we go. Holy lordy. Just in time. Maybe. All right, I got it. Woo! Holy mackerel. I'm sorry, but there's a big middle finger coming to MLB for that one. They're crazy for that one. I got to go through like all these troubleshooting steps. Just FYI, your audio is a little low. Oh, it is a little low. Good call. Thank you. Looks like something happened there. Properties, levels, I'm at 100. Yeah, it is though, isn't it? Microphone check. Just a little low. Boy, if it's not one thing, it's another, huh? Let's see if we can get a gain going here. Check. I don't want to blow out your guys' ears. Hold on. Mic check. Mic check. That's a little bit better there. All right, so Julio Rodriguez is going to step up to the plate here for your Mariners as Manoah gets. Sounds good now. Thank you for letting me know on that, by the way. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Stuff's always on. Got to keep it always on point here with that. All right, so Manoah's going to step up. He's got a little prayer he's doing on the backside of the mound. 2.24 ERA, 23% strike rate, right at the major league average. His walk rate of 7% is also right at the major league average of 7%. You're getting a guy that is going to work the zone. He's going to get a share of strikeouts. But he's really going to also allow you to put the ball in play. It's just going to be hard to put a good swing on the ball. Danny W says, I hate the Big Dumper nickname now. Asam, have you seen a Kraken game? I have not as of yet. I'm a hard sell on hockey right now. Like, I really am. I'm in my 40s to try to go and pick up the game of hockey. I already have a hard enough time covering Seahawks every note and now kind of picking up baseball. Say nothing of once Sonics come into play. And right out the gate here, Manoah puts a fastball right down the heart of the plate for strike one. Guess that was a sinker technically. Throws another sinker there, and that bounces foul by Julio Rodriguez. By Julio. Oh-2 here. Here's the pitch. Ooh. Did he foul that one off? Looked like Julio checked his swing and it must have tipped off the underside of the bat. Still 0-2. Alek Manoah was the AL September pitcher of the month, so he has been pretty hot here up until this point. Oh! Oh, shit. That hit Julio. Golly, our guys get hit a lot. My goodness. I mean, that was nowhere near the strike zone. And he just misses wildly. And right on that hand. It just, I don't know how many of our guys have gotten clipped right on that wrist. Looks like maybe it was a little bit more of a glancing blow. Yikes. Well, he's on first now. Nobody out. Ty France up to the plate. Here's the pitch. And France almost is hit by Manoah. Manoah just right now, maybe the nerves are getting to him a little bit here. He starts licking on his fingers. But he's missing like up near the head region on these Mariner batters right now. Mouth open. He's a little nervous here. This is playoff baseball. It's a little bit different at this point in time. A little bit of a different creature. There's a nice pitch there. Slider there worked across the zone. Fouled back. Bootang says Castillo versus Manoah is going to be a fun pitching duel. It should be a pretty good duel today. Should be good if the Mariners can maybe get to him early here before he maybe settles down if he is a little bit nervous. Cronus, he almost threw back-to-back hit by pitcher. He did, just about. Oof, 2 sliders back-to-back on France, same place, whipping across the plate. And France just swinging right through them. That's good movement there with Manoah. Daniel, so I understand we switch up pitching order from regular season, but why do we switch up batting order? This ball is hit on the ground. It will allow hit on the ground to first base. Manoah is able to come over and cover, so it will be an out, but Julio is able to get up the field with his speed to second base here, so he is in scoring position with one man out. My guess is they don't want to go too right-handed heavy through the top to the top and middle of the order. They wanted some lefty injection in there, which is what Cal Raleigh gives them, and they trust Cal in that spot more than they would trust Kelnick. And if it's not one of those two guys, who's your lefty at that you're bringing up? Are you bringing Santana up into that spot? I mean, honestly, at this point, I do trust Cal more than I trust Santana. Even though Santana's had a couple of big hits and certainly has provided something since coming over from Kansas City, I'm still in that favor of that. Eugenio Suarez steps up to the plate and takes a ball one just below his kneecaps. Runner on second here, one man out. Top of the first inning. 283, what's up, man? Good to see you in the chat. Says, let's go, Gino. Let's go, Gino. Eugenio, he got a good pitch to hit, and he hit that down the line. This is going to be trouble. It bangs on into the corner, and Julio's going to swing around third base and easily get home for number one. Julio shows the dugout one just to let them know if they couldn't count. Oh, there you go. Nice job by Eugenio. What a very nice... When Eugenio is such a pull-heavy hitter where he will yank everything. You see him come out here against a very tough pitcher. And this is really going to be a theme you see with a lot of hitters on both sides in this series and in other series in baseball here, which is the understanding of you've got a power pitcher, you got a pitcher who's got really good stuff. Don't try to do too much with it. And a lot of times that just means going with it. Letting the ball get a little deep into your hands as you're choosing, as opposed to really trying to get out ahead of things and really, as I say, kind of yank and pull things. So Eugenio's on second now, and that does bring up Cal Raleigh. 1-0 Mariners. Cal first pitch swinging and sends this a mile into the air. It will get back into the stands. Cal was looking to add 2 more to the scoreboard on that particular swing. James Black, get it started early, boys. Come on. Let's get it rolling right from the jump, right? Let's start getting into this. Let's get into this Toronto bullpen. Let's get these pitches up. Raleigh steps back in here, 0-1. Manoah comes set. This is low. Nice patience there by Cal. I think he's looking a little bit at the top of the zone there. That first swing, even though it was a little high and out of the zone kind of, he was still, seemed like that's where he was looking for that pitch. Maybe why Toronto came back with something a little low. Manoah looks back, goes into his wind. Right down the middle of the plate there, foul back. Raleigh had a good pitch to hit on that one. Just a 4-seam fastball right there. Didn't do much moving. You got to figure you're getting the sinker or the slider here if you're Raleigh. 1-2. Manoah throws a little too much on it. Boy, he grounded a changeup. Interesting. You definitely want your arm to look. You want your arm going the same speed as you do a fastball there, but you rarely see a changeup getting overthrown. That will even up the count here, though. Manoah's already featured 4-seam, slider, sinker, and a change just in this first inning alone. Cal gets again a little bit underneath it there and fouls it again back far deep and wide into the stands. Count will remain 2-2. Nitro Hawk, let's go. Master Chief, boom. James Black, get it started. Nitro Hawk, are all games in Toronto? I think isn't that the way it works in this round? That was the bend. I'm kind of learning this part of it. Keith Jensen says, let's take it to the Jays. Let's do it, Keith. Let's do it. One man out. Mariners up 1-0. 2-2. High. Manoah misses again there. Takes the count to 3-2. Manoah had some really nice, especially sliders he was throwing France, but the other couple of hitters here early on, he got Julio into an 0-2 count quickly, but I said, well, you can't blame him. Nerves are going to get you a little bit on this kind of game, and you do probably settle down through that. This ball is swung and hit high and deep and far. It's gone! The big dumper dumps all over Manoah. He just laid a big number 2 all over Mr. Manoah. As I was saying earlier in that at bat, Cal Raleigh is looking for a pitch in a little bit of the higher end part of the zone. He wasn't even wavering on anything low, even close, low in the zone. He was looking for his spot, looking for his pitch. And again, Manoah struggling to find his control, leaves the ball elevated just a little bit there in that same spot. You saw it on the very first swing there out the gate where he got just underneath that ball. Like I was saying, the first pitch, it was a little out of the zone, but that he was on it. He was clocked. It didn't matter. In this one, 95 miles an hour, middle of the plate, a little high. I mean, that's in that juicy spot where Cal's got to just open that watermelon up and go to town. That's too tasty an area for a hitter. But what a great at bat by Cal Raleigh. What a great at bat by Cal. He sent that one on a line and he is locked in right now. Gets down in the count, works his way back up ahead of it. Doesn't swing at any pitches that are wildly out of the zone. He's looking for his pitch, looking for his spot. And then gives it a ride. Gives it a big dump. Voodoo Magic says, wow, what a lineup change moving up Cal. Well, that's looking like a pretty brilliant move there for Scott Service to do so. I wonder, too, if there was any history here between... And Mitch Haniger steps up to the plate and is quickly drawn a 2-0 count. I wonder if there's any history between Manoah and Raleigh and if Raleigh's had any kind of success against him prior and if maybe that was also a little bit of what was pushing that decision. 2-0 here. Top of the first. Mariners up 3-0. Low. Ball 3. That was the 20th pitch for Manoah here in this first inning already. It would be very nice in this opening game to be able to get into this Blue Jay bullpen a little bit. Boy, if I'm Haniger here, I'm taking this pitch. So let's just keep working this guy. Haniger's swinging. I mean, okay, do you. It was ball 4, but okay. Blue Jay fans in the stadium looking a little shocked. Players in the dugout, guys tried to throw some seeds in his mouth. He just hit himself in the face. I think he got like 2 seeds in his mouth of the 20 he had in his hand. This ball's hit on the ground to third base. Up with it. Over. Out. Chapman there, nice play. That would put 2 down. And there with Haniger, I understand you want to give guys green lights, but you got a guy struggling with his location and control. You got a 3-0 count. Make him throw you a strike. That's an approach situation thing there. Make him throw you a strike. Don't force that. All right, Carlos, Black Magic Woman, steps up to the plate. Santana, see what he can do here. Early strike there as he looked like he might have checked his swing, but he did get fairly far around there. Santana hitting 202 with 19 home runs, 60 RBIs on the season, 692 OPS. Gave the Mariners just a little bit of another somewhat of a power bat in that lineup that they needed at times. 0-1 pitch here from Manoah. Nice slider there. That's been the one pitch that he's had this inning so far that's consistently has worked when he's thrown it. Santana swung right through it. 0-2 here. This will be the 25th pitch of this inning for Manoah. He's gone right after Santana with 2 sliders here to begin things. Toronto fans are up on their feet. High. Ball 1. Good eye there by Santana. Sam the Great says, damn it, I need to find a TV. I feel you, Sam. I was just about to start panicking if I couldn't figure this out. Adriana Sinapri? Glad I found this live stream. I'm stuck at work for the next 10 to 15 minutes. I got you, Adriana. And Manoah is able to get a strikeout there to finally close off this inning. But a little bit of damage done. With Luis Castillo taking the hill, you certainly knew this lineup at Toronto. You hope he could do pretty well against it, but you know this is an explosive lineup. You like to give yourself definitely some room for error here. And opening this up with a quick 3 runs and making Manoah work in that first inning of this first game is a great opening step. And how about Cal Raleigh as he's come along this season? Started out the year, got demoted because he just couldn't seem to hit, went back to AAA, kept raking, came back up, got his head on straight, got right. Has been a good performer for us in this lineup on top of being outstanding behind the dish. But that bat is only going to come along, I feel like, in future years. And you're looking at a guy that's got, I think, 270, 280 type potential and who can also hit 30, 35 home runs for you from the catcher position, which to get that kind of power with, Devil's power you'll get with that as well is only going to so help into the future. 283, 22 pitches. I think he ended out with 27 pitches in that inning, I think. It was 26 or 27. 26. And I love making Manoah work too. I want to get into this Blue Jay bullpen. It's not a bad bullpen, but I don't know if I would say it's it's not the strength of it is that it is for us. Adriana says, got to pick it up, fellas. Got to pick it up. Castillo's just got to come out here now. Don't think about the lead. Pitch your game. Don't act like, well, I got a big lead here to pitch. I'm going to be able to pitch in front of him. Just pump in the zone. No, just pitch as you normally do now. Go at this lineup as you normally will. Libra Dragon says, storybook beginning. Cast of characters. It is indeed. I hope so. Mark says, I need a cig already. Yeah, I'm going to get a little bit. This is going to get nervous. We're only through a half inning here, and I can already tell. Oof. Matt Beeler says, let's go Ams, baby. Let's go, Matt. Let's go. Truffle says, I hate Major League App so much. Streams MOB all year, but when playoff come around, they stream on ESPN. Stupid. I know, Truffles. And then they're streaming on ESPN, but not on ESPN Plus, like ESPN 2 or 3 or ridiculous. ESPN Ridiculous is what I'm going to call it. Like, it just, I don't know why they got to play so much, Just let the fans watch the games. And again, Major League Baseball, as I was harping about, has this big talk about wanting to get people included and brought in and all that. It's like, well, why are you making your product so hard to watch? All right, Luis Castillo takes the hill here. He was 4-2 for your Mariners in his 11 starts. Absolutely worth every part of that trade. And the Mariners have, of course, now got him signed to a contract extension. He comes right out the gate throwing a 99-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle of the plate. Strike 1. Love the way this rotation is looking, not only for this series, but into the future with him holding it down there. This ball's hit on the ground, picked up by Crawford, bounced over to Ty France, and he's out. Great play there by Crawford. He had to move and range wide to his left, pick it, and then wasn't really moving with his body in a way to be able to put much real power on the ball. So he chose to sort of get the throw off quickly, one hop it then to Ty France, who then made a nice pick and a nice little stretch there to get that play. It's just getting the ball out quicker there rather than trying to load up and throw that ball like if he tries to set himself and give the runner an extra couple of steps to get to the bag. Well played there by Crawford on a leadoff batter. Strike here. First pitch here on Bo Bichette. Bichette. You will call me Bichette. I will hit number 2 and I am a shortstop. Strike 2 on a slider. Fastball slider from Castillo's got him 0-2 here quickly. Castillo's working fast. He's looking pretty comfortable. Looking locked in. That ball's hit on the ground. Easy play here for Frazier. Out number 2. If you folks are watching at home, you can kind of feel there's a physical difference when you look at Manoah versus looking over at Castillo, who's just always calm, Terminator-like in his look. With Manoah over there, sort of, he was already kind of breathing heavy off of one batter a little bit. Understandable, the nerves, it gets to guys a little bit for it, and I do think Manoah is going to settle down here as this game goes along, but the first 2 batters here, Castillo looking pretty good, and here comes a very dangerous man up to the plate now here in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Certainly the anchor of this particular lineup. First pitch, slider low, ball 1. Vladimir hitting .274 with 32 home runs this year. And again, Castillo keeping that ball very low on Vladimir, being very careful there with the fastball right around the ankles. Understandable. This is the guy. There are guys in this, multiple guys in this lineup that can hurt you, but this is the guy that you certainly worry about. And also a guy that, like his father, if you can get him to swing outside the zone. 100 miles an hour on the outside part of the plate for 2-1. His father was a great bad ball hitter. He could have a ball bounce up the plate and hit it for a home run, but also you could get him to swing out of the zone at times as well. His son's not quite as wild as dad was, but he's still got a little bit of those elements to him. And changeup misses here on a 3-1 pitch. It's Castillo being very careful here with Vladimir. 3-1. Strike right on the inside part of the plate. 100 miles an hour on the inside part of the zone. You think he's tuned up for tonight? He just hit triple digits, folks. I don't think I saw Castillo hitting triple digits all year. It's playoff time. 3-2. Guerrero steps back in. Bouncing ball up the middle. Frazier's got it with ease. Out number 3. 1, 2, 3. Castillo works his way right through this top of the order lineup here. Comes back in that. I like how he pitched Guerrero there. Again, in control. With the way he was pitching Guerrero and staying a little outside the zone, I think there was almost a purposefulness to that. And trying to think, let's see if we can get him to swing out the zone. And if he does swing out the zone, he's going to knock that on the ground to my guy. Wu-Tang Financial says Castillo's tossing some heat. No doubt about it. I mean, 100 miles an hour? Yeah, I think he's amped up a little bit. Lieber says, I'm loving chapter 1 in the storybook. Go Mariners. I am too. Big dumper puts one in the seats. Castillo locked in. Ethan says, great start, Castillo. Let's go. Let's go. Lieber Dragon, it's playoff time. Well said. Opportunity. This is your chance here. It's your chance. And this Mariner team, if they get that, keep it loose, keep it free and easy like you have all year. That's where you've been at your best. Not tightening up. Play your game. And let the chips fall where they may. I'd love to see it. 2-8-3, you're right. The first inning couldn't have gone better. You got the ace of this staff to work in that first inning with over 25 pitches. You're able to get some runners on. Even Santana in that lineup, as he struck out, still was able to draw a 4-pitch at bat. So everybody was doing a good job on that, at least making that pitcher work, which is what you want to do playoff time. You want to get into bullpens. You want to make the starters work, especially when we got the real true frontline guys out there. So that's as good as you could hope for a kind of first inning, no doubt about it. James Black, Mariners country. Let's ride. Mariners country. Let's sail. Mariners country. Let's sail. Oh, I feel bad. I legitimately feel a little bad for Russ, just a tiny bit today watching. I was looking forward to it, but then when I started watching how badly he was like just getting demolished today, I was like, oh, the poor guy. But you brought this upon yourself. All right. So let's see what we can do here in the top of the second inning now. And Jared Kelnick stepped up to the plate to lead this inning off. 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Mariners. And he'll take ball one on a two-seam fastball there at his feet. Kelnick hitting 141 with 7 home runs this year. Certainly started to look a little bit better in September there. Whew. That slider's got some wicked, wicked movement there. And Jared just laid off of it, smartly so. Still clipped the strike zone, but the Mariners are not going to be able to do anything with that slider. That thing's got a lot of whipping action to it. 1-1. Another slider right back at it. Yeah. Can understand Manoah going after it. Of course, breaking pitches have been a bit of a problem for Kelnick this year and in his young career. And this is a tough position for the young man because these are upper level, top end sliders that he's having thrown at him right now. Manoah wants a new ball. I thought pitchers had to step off the mound if they want to lick their fingers. Manoah's lapping at that thing like a dog that's got peanut butter on the end of his tips. Manoah sets up 1-2. Another slider. Strike 3 called. It looked to be about 3 inches off of the plate. It looked 3 inches off the plate. That was not a strike. It's a slider too, so not only does it end up off the plate, but if it's off the plate as it is because it's a slider coming from a right-handed pitcher, that means it's even further going around the plate as it's coming around the other side of it. The pitch tracker is confirming just what I'm saying. Easily a ball, not 1, not 2, maybe even 3 inches off the plate. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. My power thing was unplugged there. All right, so Kelnick gets called out on a bad call there. That was definitely what the F ump. This is the playoff umps. Robo umps. Robo umps, please. Please, robo umps. I know like watching these miss. I get it if it's close, but 3 inches off the plate on a slider that's winding around the plate as it is. Come on. Come on now. All right, Crawford's up the plate now. He's got a 1-0 count. Are we already down to 2 outs here? No, we're not. Okay, we're good. Oh, we got a runner on first here. Sorry, my computer biffed out on me right at the wrong time there. It's slider, another slider that looks low and out. The umpire's getting bedazzled by the slider, man. Manoah's hypnotizing him. The thing's spinning around the plate and he keeps calling it. And Frazier on first is getting a nice lead over there. He's thinking about going, I think. Nagasa says, why'd they even use the ump? They are often too wrong. Well, remember this year was the year that they were indeed supposedly in the minors trying out the robo umps to work out the kinks. I mean, hopefully those kinks, I don't know what kinks are worked out if it's like laser beams, it's pretty exact at that point, right? Like what kinks are there? But okay, you do the kinks, fine. Now at this point, great. Let's go ahead and bring this on next year. It's time. I've seen too many calls this year that are just stupid. Lame calls. Crawford doing a good job here, drawing 2-1 count. My cat gets really loving here. See if he can make something happen here. Let's see if Frazier goes 2-1. This is a good pitch sometimes. Not a good pitch, but sometimes it's a pitch you see him go because it's kind of, you got a hit and run situation going on a little bit. 2-1 down in the dirt. Manoah's still struggling to find his feel on the pitches here. He's got that at bat on Kelnick was brutal for Kelnick because those were some just great pitches. It's a little like France. Batter to batter, he's kind of struggling on finding his spots. It's got 3-1 here on Crawford. You got to figure Crawford's probably taking here. Crawford's a smart batter about his approach with this stuff. Or if he feels a pitcher's not hitting the zone, he'll say, "Okay, I'll make you prove." See, takes the walk. Yeah, you're not going to get him to pitch swing at a silly pitch. You're going to have to put it really in the zone on a 3-1 for him, because he'll take that walk, just be happy with it. So nice job by the bottom of the Mariners order, not only to work the counts, but also to get on base here for the top of the lineup. And Julio now comes up to the plate with 2 runners on and an ability to do a lot of damage. Yeah, I know you're hyped up too. Manoah's 6'6", 285. Boy, is he a big boy. Oh my gosh, with the orange in here. The orange in here. Okay, Orn. All right, Julio's up. He got hit on the hand in his first at bat. Swings and misses that nasty slider coming across the plate. That's been Manoah's sort of saving grace here in this early point of this game, is his ability to come back and hit the slider. Ooh, another slider there. And they're saying he swung at it, 0-2. Manoah might just throw sliders here for the rest of what's going on this. He might just. All right, 0-2 here. See if Julio can fight his way back in. You got to figure he's going to keep coming with this slider, and it's the one thing he's got to call upon. He's got no control on his other pitches here right now. Runners get their lead, 0-2. Manoah with the pitch. Slider again. Gets Julio to swing right across the plate in the dirt. It's got such heavy amount of movement on it, but you got to make him throw it for a strike there if you're Julio. He's struggling with his control, and I know he's hitting his spots with it, relatively speaking, and the umpire's giving him some calls too. But you've got to, you can't bail him out on that I think all 3 of those pitches were off the plate at the end of the day. I don't think he threw him a strike once in that at bat to the youngster. The pitcher is a little wild today, Matt. Outside of a slider, he just doesn't have the control on his other pitches at the moment. He might lock in here. France up to the plate now. The ump in this game. Outside fastball, 3 inches off the plate. Another strike. That's 3 pitches in this one inning that the pitch tracker has as balls that the umpire is calling a strike. Is this Angel Hernandez? 0-1. Slider, low, not a strike, another swing. Mariner batters have got to go back in this dugout and everyone huddle up. If he throws the slider, make him throw it for a strike. We're swinging it outside the zone pitches there on that. He's getting you to swing. It's not a strike. Of course, with the ump widening his zone like he is, maybe it is. 3 calls in 1 inning. That's brutal. Oh, 2. France hits this up in the air, skied. And this will make a play. Right fielder will make a play here, and that will be out number 3. So the Mariners do threaten, but are not able to bring the runners around, still maintain a 3-0 lead. Boy, on a day where the pitcher can't find his feeling for his pitches, you certainly don't want the ump bailing him out on that day, do you? You do want the ump to call it legitimately straight up, right? 283 says this better be the same zone for Castillo. Well, you know I'm going to lose my freaking head if he starts squeezing Castillo on his zone. You got a wide zone, okay, fine. Like I've always said, baseball, that's baseball. That goes back to when you're playing Little League, it would be that way. Even more so extreme, where you know, going through that high school games too, you'd see the same thing where certain umpires have their zones. And once you learn the zone, as long as they're calling it consistently, it's fine. But when it becomes inconsistent, and a particular team will get 3 calls in 1 inning, you go, okay. NJ Politics on us. Katie, RNJ? What's RNJ? Katie, what's RWNJ? Sorry, I don't speak in acronyms. I hear you. Umpire is Canadian. There we go. Lever says perhaps a new reality will have any honest trace or umpiring system for great. Well, I think the laser beams could work right now. They just better implement it next year. They don't need this for the game. There's no nostalgic aspect to me to having umpires in the game. Danny W says, what is a mariner? I'm assuming it's like a dockman or a shipman from a marina, meaning pier. I don't know. That's my best guess. I always thought a mariner is just a seagoing. I mean, I probably should look it up. A mariner is the intrepid mariners of yesteryear set out to discover new worlds. So a navigator, a mariner is a person who navigates or assists in navigating a ship. So we're navigators. We are the navigators. All right, here comes Mr. Castillo up now, pumping a 99-mile-an-hour fastball here to the opening batter in this inning. Alejandro Kirk, the catcher, hitting .285 with 14 ding-dongs this year. He's a big boy. Gets him to swing out of zone 99, strike 2, and Castillo is working very quickly here. Oh, 2 pitch. Hit hard down on the ground. They're calling it a fair ball. Just got that inside the first baseline. Hit so hard it bounces back off of the wall, bounces back to the right fielder, Haniger there, so he can get the ball in. But that will be the opening batter on this inning getting on base. It's a good pitch there by Castillo. Low and away. That was not a fair ball. Was that a fair ball? Boy, that looked like it went inside the base. I'll take their word for it. Kirk is a chunky boy. Yeah, he definitely has got that catcher archetype thing down pat. All right, one runner on here now. Nobody out. Bottom of the second inning. This ball's bounced on the ground. First pitch swinging. Double play ball. Eugenio. Second. Back to first. That will be 2 down. Nicely done. Good turn there by Frazier to get that ball quickly. The runner was getting really quickly up that line, and he had to get that turn fast. And they did so. Very close play. Eugenio made a nice job on the short hop there, too, with that. That's an in-between kind of hop that catches the fielder, sometimes odd. Oh, did they get him? Yes, they did. Just got him. By just a hair. So 2 men down now. Strike 1, fouled off on a check swing. Love how fast and in control Luis Castillo is working here in this game. 0-1 pitch. Strike two. 100 miles an hour right down on the right side. A little bit out on the outside part of the plate, but fairly close to the middle of it. A lot of movement on that pitch, though. It's not just coming straight at you there. 0-2. Oh! Look at that 3 location, folks. Look at that number 3. So, okay, 3 pitches last inning, and then that number 3 is not a strike? Okay. 1-2. 1-2. And then foul back. Another 100-mile-an-hour pitch there. I don't know on this. I think he's talking with a little bit of the, I like my Blue Jays, eh? They're going to go up there and they'll win. They got to win against the Mariners. They'll make it happen. That was a little bit of a squeeze on that zone, I'm just saying. 1-2. This ball's hit up into the air. 3 people converge, and it will fall in for a base hit. It looked like everybody was thinking the other person was going to catch it as Frazier, Crawford, and Julio all converged on the ball. This is where you just hate that call. It's not. That should have been strike 3 on that pitch. It was a well-pitched ball. It's there. This was just oddly, it was right in that dead zone spot. Julio playing really deep there. All right. Runners on first and second. We got trouble. We got trouble here now a little bit. First and second, 2 men out. Mariners up 3-0, bottom of the second. Castillo comes set. High, ball 1. Ethan says, bro, lucky hit number 2. They have back-to-back hits here that are just kind of, okay. Catcher just kind of puts the bat on the ball and barely winds it around the base pad, and then that one's just a can of corn that just finds a hole there between your defenders. Swing and a miss on a slider, 1-1. Nice pitch there by Castillo. Don't give in here, Luis. Libra Dragon says, what happened to honor, ump? All right, 1-1 pitch. Castillo comes set. Strike. There we go. Borderline call going that way, and that was a great pitch on that slider. I mean, that's in the zone. That ain't getting a call. You can see it on the tracker. That's legit. 1-2. Nicely done by Luis there. He painted the black on the corner on that one. 1-2 pitch. Foul on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Tapia's got a wad of chew that's bumping out the underside of his mouth. Like he got stung by a bee. Castillo's gone 2-seamer, slider, 4-seamer. Let's see how he goes with 2 and 2 here. Gets him to swing out of the zone, and that's going to be hit. A lazy fly ball up into center field. Julio is underneath this with ease, and that will bring out number 3. So another well-pitched inning here by Luis Castillo, getting out of danger. Had a couple of just kind of luck hits happen. Didn't let it offset him. He's in control, calm, ready to roll. Through 2 innings of play, Mariners are up 3-0. Ethan, those are some dots he was throwing. Some pinpoint control we're seeing out of Castillo, along with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball he's flashing as well. Blue Jays are going to have an uphill battle against him today, I think. Salty Kyle says, Luis is in command. Love it. Oh, he is in command. He is feeling it. It's a beautiful thing. Chrono says, just to spend 20 minutes trying to upgrade my ISP to TV only to find out it doesn't come with ESPN, so I spent an hour to try to cancel said TV plan. You might want to try, if you're local Seattle area, you can try Fubo too right now, because that's what I'm on is the Fubo, but I'm also in what would be considered local Mariner area. So that might be a way you can do it as well. Be right back, folks. All right. We back. We're back, baby. All right. Our Mariners can play some more tack on here. Got the middle of our order coming up with Eugenio Suarez to begin things off. Strike one here from Manoah. Manoah at 44 pitches here for this game. Eugenio had an RBI double in the first at bat. Sweeping slider again. Good eye there by Eugenio. That's got a lot of the batters early on here to swing, and he was able to just keep his eye on it, let it flow. Good job. 1-1. Hit on the ground here. This will be a fairly simple play for the third baseman. Out number one. Daniel says, man, I wish I could drink a couple of beers right now. I'm on a 5-day of COVID recovery, so can't drink until the morning. I'm kind of happy I got it now so I can enjoy Halloween around Seattle and not worry. There you go, man. You got a little bit of that immunity built back up in, a little re-strengthened there. Well, hang in there. This is kind of I do kind of wish I had a beer right now too, man. Kind of a good beer game. Just a couple pops. Got a nice sunny day outside here. All right, well, here comes up the hero of the moment right now, which is Kyle Raleigh, who hit a 2-run bomb in his first at bat. Of course, Raleigh being the guy that helped launch this Mariner team into the postseason and clinching it. Takes ball one high on a fastball. See if Raleigh's looking back at the top of that zone here. He was being very careful, not careful, but just you could tell he's locked a little more into the high stuff. Ooh, another nice slider there. Cal swings right through it. The one bread and butter from Manoah that he's been able to go to time and time again for these first 3 innings is that slider. And it's a tough pitch to hit. He gets a lot of movement and spin on that pitch. 1-1. Throws another slider, and again, the umpire gives him the call. That's number 4. That's number 4. The pitch trace, that's the 4th pitch in 2 innings that's been outside of the zone by the pitch tracer, and the umpire is still calling it a strike. 4, 2 innings. That slider's got him, I'm telling you, he's got the umpire bedazzled. He can't pick up the movement on it. It's so extreme, and that's strike 3, and that's going to end the inning. But the umpire, he's like, I can't tell when it's coming over the plate. It's sweeping so magnificently. It's so beautiful. They should have sent a poet. D-Boy, what's up, D-Boy? Good to see you in the chat, man. Hope Hope you're doing well. All right, 2 outs now. Mitch Haniger up at the plate. Fastball high and away, and Manoah continues to struggle in finding his other pitches, especially even just the fastball. It seems that like the thing just keeps riding up and away off the plate. It's weird how locked in with the control he's got with the slider, but then the fastball's just all over the place. 1-0 here to Mitch. Slider, swing and a miss, strike. It's all he's got right now. It's all I've got. Why won't you throw something else? I have no other pitch to throw. He just keeps props to him, man. He's working it. Another slider. Strike 2, fouled. Mitch hit that in off his shin there a little bit. Some Ben Diesel, thoughts on the new general manager? For who? Which new general manager? Which one do you mean? All right. We got a 1-2 count here now. Hit up high, and looks like there's going to be a play in foul territory. Blue Jays have a pretty big zone there, and Guerrero will make the catch for out number 3. So we'll go to the bottom of the third. No runners, no hits. No man left on. Mariners up 3-0. Drizzle Hawk says 20 years waiting for the playoffs just to be stuck at work. So lame. Zilla Hawk, I'm a guy trying to hype back up baseball for folks and get people back encouraged into this sport a little bit. But the sport's got to help itself. It's been miserable in its ability to market its players over the last 25, 30 years. They're making some rule changes, I think, that's going to help the sport moving forward. But to make a playoff game, to set a playoff game at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, number one, is ridiculous. People are going to be stuck at work. It's a Friday. It's a weekday you're doing this on. Why? For what reason? And I don't know that if it says they think they're going to get more eyeballs of everybody watching at 1 o'clock and having one game at a time being played, but I don't agree with that. I don't think the people on the East Coast are necessarily watching this game. Maybe they are. Maybe the numbers back this up or it makes sense for them to do it, but it sucks. I know, man. I feel you. It sucks. Nitro Hawk says Manoah could get hit right in the belly and feel nothing. Oh, no, yeah. He's got that Tank Abbott thing going for him. It just the ball might get stuck in the gut, though. It might the gut may just make it a part of it now. Like, oh, we now have a baseball. For the M's, I didn't know we had a new general manager. Isn't Dipoto still our general manager? Did I miss news on this? I'm sorry. I hadn't heard that there's a new general manager. Oh, okay. So there we go. Justin Hollander has been promoted from assistant general manager to the organization's 10th general manager 1 year after Dipoto was promoted to president of operations. So I think Dipoto is still going to be really having a heavy hand in what's going on with this. And I don't have much going on with Hollander, but he's been a part of this crew that's helped build this. So that in itself, Osama, is encouraging that you're bringing a guy from within who understands what the plan is, as opposed to bringing a guy from outside who is going to try to change course on things. Right now, they need to stay the course, not change the course. And we're going to start out the bottom of the third here with the first pitch fastball in the outside part of the corner. Again, just painting black on the outside by Luis Castillo. To Danny Jansen. Swing and a miss on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Is locked in as Castillo. Little slider there in the dirt. Tried to get him to swing at one. Wasn't biting. 1-2. Chrono says Hollander was basically been the general manager since Dipoto was promoted last year, and this was anti-poaching promotion. That's a slider down again. It looks a little bit in the dirt there. Yeah, that makes sense for him to do it if they're trying to do that. And Dipoto's looking to go more high level stuff on his where he wants to serve, then makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. And I'm okay with it. I love what they're doing right now. So that's the main thing. I want to just see them keep going with 100-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle of the plate. He went to Jansen and he said, "You and your funny glasses aren't going to be able to hit this." And Jansen's going back to the dugout saying, "Man, I should have gotten some of those Chris Sabo goggles. I knew I should have rocked the Sabo tonight. God, what was I thinking?" Out number 1 here in the bottom of the third. Master Chief, he's spamming that slider. Manoah is spamming the slider. He's the kid with the controller who's just hitting that button over and over. He knows the one button he can hit that can be effective. Inside here, first pitch ball to Whit Merrifield. Castillo continues to work very fast here. Ball hit up into the air, skied. Julio is underneath it with ease, and this will be out number 2. Ethan said the ump called that a strike earlier on a couple of, I was going to say something, but I'm trying not to moan about it too much. Trying to let it go. Just let it go. But as I think it's going to be a good move. I do. I'm very encouraged by them. And Hollander so far, if he's been a part of what they've done and been in this decision-making, then nothing but encouraged with that. So 2 outs. Top of the lineup will turn back over here for the Toronto Blue Jays, and George Springer will take a first pitch strike on the outside part of the plate. Again, great pitch, down and away. This ball is hit on the line. This is trouble. And good job by Mitch Haniger to cut that down in the gap and keep that to a single. Castillo got that pitch just a little bit up there. Came off the first one low and away, and then that thing kind of got up over the middle of the plate and high. All right, Bo Bichette's going to come up the plate now. Certainly with Vlad on deck. This is a big bat here for Luis. It's crazy how some of these sons do adopt batting stances of their father, where Bo Bichette looks just like Dante Bichette with the way the bat's very pressed very close to the shoulder. Same thing with Vlad. There's a lot of similarities. Not quite the same stances, but very close. Whereas if you look like Ken Griffey Jr. and his dad, they actually had kind of different sort of stances and strokes. This ball's hit hard foul. 1-1 here with Bo Bichette. Bichette had a absolutely blistering month of September. Set a franchise record for this Blue Jay team with 48 hits. Made a little bit of a change to his stance here over the course of the year, getting his leg kick right, and it's been able to really elevate him to the back half of the season. A little late on that one, 99 miles an hour, and he fouls it back. I think he was looking slider there. 1-2. See if Castillo probably does come with the slider here on this pitch, though. Swing one right across that plate. Have it end up like 3-4 inches outside. If you can just get him to maybe roll one over here. You could maybe surprise him with a fastball as well, because you know Bichelle wasn't ready for it a second ago. It goes with the changeup. Okay. 90-mile-an-hour changeup, by the way. You know you got a power arm when your changeup's at 90. One-two pitch here. Castillo's at 38 for the game so far. Runner on first. Vlad Guerrero Jr. looming on deck. Ball's hit on the ground. This is going to be a tough play for Crawford. He's only able to snag it in the hole. It's going to be a base hit. Blue Jays have had a couple of hits in this game where just as much as anything, just well placed. Not that they're hard struck necessarily or even hard struck and just barely staying fair, but they've definitely benefited here, just kind of getting a couple, hit them where they aren't a little bit. So the tying runner steps up to the plate. Vladimir Guerrero, the most dangerous hitter in this lineup, no doubt about it. Runners on first and second, 2 men out. Castillo did a very nice job in the first at-bat of being very careful around Vladimir. He was not giving a lot of good pitches to swing at, trying to get him to bite a little bit, being very careful. Of course, here doesn't have that room for error, as before first base was open. Now first base is not open, so you're going to have to come after him. This is definitely a dangerous spot here. They just had a little meeting at the mound. I'd almost in that meeting at the mound might say, just don't feel like you have to give in and give him a pitch here if you get behind in this account. If you do end up walking him, tying runner being on, that's not a great thing, but it's a worse thing here to give in and give him a pitch. First pitch is changeup at the knees and batted foul. 0-1. Irish Trash says, nice play-by-play. Sound down on the TV. Play-by-play is a lost art. Well, thank you, man. I'm trying to get better at this. So my long-term goal is to keep trying to improve and make it as scintillating as I can for you. All right, Castillo comes set. 0-1 pitch. Runners get their lead. Hit up into the air. Skied high. Julio looks like he's underneath it, and he's got it. He's got it. So Guerrero got a pitch up a little bit higher in the zone there. Just got underneath it a little bit, but that's definitely a pitch that I'm sure Guerrero would tell you that I can do something with that. Castillo does get out of danger here, though. And Toronto remains scoreless. They've got 4 hits right now and no runs. Kind of surprising. I thought with Toronto coming into this game that the worry was going to be that they were going to be more about you're going to have to put up with a couple of home runs during the game. They're going to get you in that respect of things, as opposed to some of this has been them a little bit with just putting good swings on baseballs. They're kind of like level swings. I'm seeing a lot of level swings here, and though they've also got some flyouts with some of the bigger batters. Julio's got like 6 or 7 putouts in center field to start things off here. Irish Trash says St. Louis and Mariners is my dream series. I'd love to see that. St. Louis would be a cool franchise to go up against. Especially because the Pujols send-off could continue, That'd be cool. If we get the World Series, that'd be amazing. This team this young, this quickly. It would do so much for the organization and going forward with this too, because it's just, as you are early in this build, and how you would then engage the fan base and get them just, even those people that are ardently out on the team or ardently out on baseball in general will be coming back. Osama bin Diesel, only 1K for Castillo. Yes. Yeah, 1K. But then also you got to counter that with the fact that there's no walks either. So he's certainly applying a little bit of I'm gonna trust my stuff in the zone today. We see a guy like Verlander do this. You can have an upper level ace of this ace rotation guy, a number 1 rotation pitcher who's a strikeout artist, who'll get you all of these Ks and whatnot, and then they rack up a pitch count and they can't get through 5 or 6 innings consistently at times. And we've had guys come through here that are like that pedigree, but it's the guys that get to kind of more of the master edge of things as those dominant ace pitchers who are able to then work the zone and still be dominant working within the zone. And those guys aren't always going to get the strikeouts then. Sometimes that will, but you'll have games like this where they are putting it in play. And I think with him, he's just trusting if I put it in the right spots here, even though I'm working the zone, they're going to be, if I was a pitcher, I would say I think the Toronto Lions going to try to hit bombs here. So I will work the zone, but I'll just work it in the places I want to work it, on the pitches and in the pitch sequence that I want to work. And that's what Castillo's doing today. And you're seeing him start to work in a little more of the change up here in the last inning or so. So he's also starting to kind of adjust as he's going through the second time through the lineup, also adjusting a little bit of his approach. Carlos Santana steps up now here with nobody on, and he hits first pitch swinging, free swinging. Carlos Santana, first pitch swings and bounces the ball right back to the pitcher for out number 1. You do have Manoah up to 55 pitches in this particular game, but he has definitely settled down from those early struggles in the first inning. It helps when the umpire is giving him every damn call. Irish Trash, I'm a Cubs fan. Oh, okay. Kind of sad you guys had just such a short run as you got that World Series yourselves. You guys seemed like you were engaged to go for a while. Kelnick steps up to the plate and gets another bad call. He got 2 on his last at bat, comes up on the first pitch, ball down at his feet again. I feel for Jared here. Not your fault. It's not your fault. Some reason or other, that umpire does not like Kelnick, and he loves himself some Jays. That's his 5th call in this game, a bad outside the zone. This ball's hit up into the air, a lazy fly ball that will easily be fielded by the left fielder. Umpire's got to get his eyes right here in this game. That's 5 calls. We're not through 4 innings here. And I have yet to see a call go Castillo's way that was out of the zone on this pitch tracker. So that's 5-0 for those keeping track. All right, 2 men out here. Top of the 4th inning. Mariners up 3-0. Manoah at 57 pitches here for the game. He's going through this inning very quickly. Frazier steps up to the plate. Takes the first pitch, 2-seam fastball in at his knees on the inside part of the plate. Frazier got himself a base hit here last at bat. Outside, 1-1. Two straight fastballs to lead Frazier off here from Manoah. I don't think he's done that to a single batter yet in this game. He has gone back that slider time and time again, especially when he's needed even just a strike. And he goes to it here. Strike 2. Another whipping slider across the plate that ends up low inside on the left-handed Adam Frazier. And all Mariner hitters today, you can see this pitch is working at its best for Manoah, no doubt about it. I mean, this is just his. Somebody said he's spamming the A button on it, and that's what he's doing, but it's working. Goes back to it again here on the 1-2 pitch and grounds it into the ground. And that's the other thing with it. He's not missing too wildly with it out of the zone when he is missing. So it's making it harder for those hitters to just try to ignore it and let it go past. Instead, they feel like they've got to swing at that point. Two-two pitch here. Manoah comes set. Ball's hit on the ground right at the second baseman. He'll gather it up and then throw it on over to first, and that will be the final out of the inning. So another 2 straight innings of no hits, no runners. And the Blue Jays are able to keep this game tight, 3-0. Boy, Castillo getting out of damage, getting out of that problem last inning does loom a little bit larger here. The offense has definitely kind of started to struggle in here against Manoah, who, as I predicted, is kind of started to lock in himself. 4 strikeouts, only 1 walk here. Daniel W. says, does anyone talk to the ump in between innings like, what the F? Can someone from New York get on his headset and ask him what is he doing? Like, you earned this spot. You've worked hard all this year, Mr. Blue, to get to this area. You've done everything you can. You've called phenomenal games right and left, and you're choosing now to have your worst game behind the plate all year. Yeah, it's as I said, I'm watching this pretty closely, and I don't think he's doing it purposefully by any measure, but it certainly is right now. That's 5 pitches, 4 innings that you've missed on, and especially poor Kelnick. I mean, poor Jared, man. When you're struggling, you can't get a hit, and then the umpire's selling on you too on top of it. It just makes it, from a young player mentality standpoint, that's a hard thing to overcome. Probably a little easier as you get to be more of a veteran guy. Brittany McDowell, where can I watch live? Is a little bit of the question, Brittany. ESPN has it, so if you can get to ESPN, that's a way to watch it. If you're local in Washington, I've got it up on the fubo.tv, so it'll play as a local game if you're in from that standpoint of it. Other than that, I don't know of any other pathways. Osama bin Diesel says the ump is Leslie Nielsen from Naked Gun. Strike. He's trying to find the assassin. Irish Trash says, someone give him a breathalyzer and a swab. Exactly, Irish. I'm okay if it's balanced. If he wants to, Irish, you know this, you're a Cub fan. Cub fans are smart baseball fans. If the ump's calling it balanced, you put up with it and it's okay. That's baseball. Sometimes umps have weird zones, and just be consistent with your zone. Don't squeeze one pitcher and open up it on the other side of the other pitcher. A little bit of that going on here. And then you can handle a couple calls over the course of a game, but when you're 5 through 4 innings, you go, wait, hold on. We're going to get 15 of these today? All right, Castillo comes back up here to go after the human trash can. I mean, the human fire hydrant. I mean, the goblin that lives under the bridge. He's just a big boy. He's very thick. 1-1 here. We'll change up off a 1-0 pitch. Interesting to see Castillo going to the changeup here as he goes second time through this Toronto order. 1-1. Oh, got him to swing on that one. 99 miles an hour high up out of the zone, and Kirk tried to check the swing. He's asking the ump if it was a ball, and the ump says, yeah, that was a ball. One, 2. Castillo comes set into the wind. Slider, low and outside, 2-2. Kirk 1 for 1 in this game. He was able to slap a double right down the right field line, his first at bat. Oh, that's another really good change there. There's some movement on that changeup. Kirk able to just fight it off. Stay alive. Chrono says that ump is giving the Jays so much room for error. He is with that strike zone, that's for sure. Manoah's already good enough. You don't need to help him. And this ball's batted on the ground to Frazier. He comes up with it, picks it, and that'll be it. Nice job by Castillo to get him to wave out of the zone there a little bit on that one. Kronos says, has Luis tried that low below the knees pitch to try to get that free strike? I would be telling him if I was the Mariners in the lap saying, hey, okay, so try to wrap that slider around the plate on a couple of these pitches. You get 0-2. Just wrap the slider around the plate. You know, get it, but do a type to kind of have it where it's going to miss. See if you can get that call. He didn't on that first pitch here to this guy. That was kind of close to what I was saying to do there with Teoscar Hernandez there. Misses 1-0 inside. That wasn't as close I'd like to get it, but that's kind of along the lines of what I would say to do. And he comes back and does the same thing there on the second pitch, and it's hit on the ground hard right at Crawford for out number 2. Good slider there, though. That's righty versus righty and a slider that ends up on the inside part of the plate. So that's starting in at that hitter and then coming to the inside point. And really nice job even getting a good swing on that like he did. Because it's just a great pitch location. Right-handed batters usually can't do much with that. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Matt Chapman steps up to the plate, and he'll first pitch swing, hit this high up into the air, and this will get back into the stands. Foul. Irish says, first time Cubs fan and smart, laughing out loud, I'll take it. Hell yeah, man. That's old baseball there. 0-1. Hit up into the air again. Julio has been a busy man out there in center. He's not having to run a lot down. They're sort of hitting it right up in the air, dead center, right to Julio when they're hitting it up. But Castillo must have gotten about 7 or 8 fly balls dead center field in this game. And that will be out number 3. So Castillo continues to work like the AC is here. 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 strikeout, no runs. Seattle will go into the top of the 5th as they're just about to turn their own batting order over and get back to the top. Irish Trash says Castillo looks like a young Manny Ramirez. Yeah, I could see that. He pitches like Pedro, though. He looks like Manny, pitches like Pedro. Zach Potato says, I hope the St. Louis Cardinals fired the coach. I didn't see what happened in the first game, Zach. I was kind of getting prepped. Griffey Johnson, Ichiro Felix. Master Chief nose tackle Kirk coming up. He is nose tackle. He's a big one tech. He could take on 2 blockers at the point of attack and hold his ground. He's not going to give you much pass rush. Doesn't use his hands all that well, but Sama says Griffey Johnson, Ichiro Felix, and now Julio Gilbert. Yeah, Julio Gilbert. Maybe you put, maybe you end up putting Cal in there and Kirby too. But we got the new generation coming aboard. Coming along. Wonder what they're going to do this offseason with who they're looking to add. You know they're going to add somebody. You know there's someone they're looking that they got in their sights, and maybe it's going to be by a strength by numbers thing. But interesting. It'll be interesting to see this offseason if they really go make a big swing for somebody. I certainly don't think Aaron Judge is in play, but I think Judge is going to want to go to a big market. But if he was open to coming to Seattle, he wouldn't be. No way. He's gonna go to like LA. He'll be like in the Dodgers or stay with the Yankees or something. 6-2 Philly, Bobby in the 5th. Okay. How about Philly firing their coach this year and then going on in a winning tear? We always hear that the managers don't matter in baseball, but it appears that it mattered there with Joe Girardi. Crawford step up to the plate here now in the top of the 5th inning. Manoah with the first pitch high. It's a place that no matter what Manoah has been able to do with his slider in this game, he has not been able to spot that fastball. He struggled through it. He's fought through it. That's what an ace can do, but that's been the thing that's given him the hardest trouble is getting that fastball down. And he does on this pitch get it down. Crawford hits it on a line drive stroke right out to dead center field. Good swing by Crawford. Just hit it right at somebody. And that's what happens with you as a pitcher is that you're missing high and away outside, well outside with a fastball like that. And then you sort of end up just locking in going, okay, I'm going to have to just groove one here. I've got to get this feel for this pitch in this spot. And that's where then the hitter's going to have that opportunity to put a good stroke on a ball and get a lot of the plate to be able to hit it. By the way, does anybody else think that Gerald Kelnick looks like that hangman guy from Top Gun? Am I the only guy seeing that? I feel like I'm taking crazy. He looks just like that guy. Like I think Kelnick was in Top Gun. All right, Julio up to the plate now with one man out. Julio hit by a pitch and struck out on a real tough at bat last time up. He'll take a first pitch fastball on the outside part of the plate. Strike one. Glad he's okay after taking that right on off his arm there to begin this game. That's high. Ball one. If I'm Julio here, I'm sitting slider. I'm looking to see if I can catch one of his sliders hanging because I know he's going to throw me at least 2 of them in this at bat. 1-1. Slider. Julio was fairly well on it. Hits it real high and far, just got a little bit underneath it. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. Look for that pitch, lock in on that. You don't have to sit as strong on the fastball there. He took a fastball for a ball earlier in this at bat. I like that approach from Julio there and thinking like that. 1-2. Another slider. Again, gets just a little bit underneath it there. Manoah being careful with Julio. He's not going to throw him these pitches that aren't working today. Not on Julio. No. He's going to pepper him with some more of these sliders. .68 pitches here for Manoah in this game. Top of the fifth. Mariners up 3-0. One man out. 1-2 count here to Julio Rodriguez. Julio takes some time. Takes a breath here. Does Manoah come with a third straight slider? Or does he? If I'm Manoah, I'm realizing Julio's kind of on the slider right now. I might try to go to a secondary pitch here, like the cutter. They're setting up outside. Nope, comes back with the slider again. Misses low, and Julio, good eye there to hold back on that. Similar kind of pitch that he swung at for a strike 3 on his last at bat. 2-2 count. It's been 3 straight sliders here for Manoah. Again, he licks at those fingers like he's got peanut butter on the ends of them or something. Gross. Well, when you're that big, I guess you get hungry a lot. 2-2. Here's the pitch. Oh, and it hits Julio Rodriguez once again. Yikes. I don't think it's purposeful. But my goodness, can you stop hitting our star, please? We don't have a lot of them. I know you're having a little bit of a rough day. I mean, God, he's missing in the absolute worst part. And it's not him purposeful. He's missed up and away like this all day. His fastball isn't working, but it also sucks because he's missing in the very most scariest part for your batters and right-handed batters especially, because it's coming right into their hands and their wrists where he's missing up and high away. And we got a guy in France who's the master of getting hit by these kind of pitches. So let's see if France tries to lean in with some of his plate armor. One man on here in Julio in the top of the fifth. One man down. Middle of the order coming up here for the Mariners. Oh. So that's pitch number 6 for the game that was out of the zone for this ref that he has given to the Blue Jays. That's 6. You can see on the pitch tracker if you think I'm lying. 6 pitches in 5 innings. Julio gets his lead from first. Might be a threat to run here. He runs. He's going. France hits this on the line. He's got this going to drop. Julio's going to be able to go get into third base. Nicely done. Julio had to hold up a little bit there to make sure that ball was going to get down from France, and France goes the other way with it, much like we saw with Eugenio Suarez, in that you have a good pitcher on the mound, a good power pitcher, a good pitcher with good stuff. Don't do too much with it. Let the ball get laid into you on the zone and then go with the pitch. And that's just what France did here. Not trying to turn it over, not trying to yank it, just go with the pitch. Let essentially the power pitcher stuff do the work a little bit. Very well done. And Julio able to get over there to third base with only one man down. Good piece of hitting. Both Eugenio and France in this game with those 2 swings. Great job. Not easy pitches to hit there. First and third, one man down, top of the fifth. Manoah's up to 72 pitches here for the game. That haggard hangdog look is back on his face with that mouth gaping open. Eugenio Suarez steps up to the plate. Already 1 for 2 with a double. See if he get a flying ball at least here and just play a little bit of add-on. Ball's bounced on the turf, on the ground. They're going to go for 1. They will only get 1. That will bring the runner home, and the Mariners go up 4-0. That'll do. Just as good as a fly ball. Eugenio moves just well enough up that line. And that ball was hit just softly enough to where they could not turn two. They tried to the Blue Jays there. You could feel them trying to press it. Just couldn't quite get enough on it there to get it over. Second base, the turn man didn't even try on the turn. Yeah, Chapman had to get this quickly and to get France as well. France running hard from first, by the way. Good job by France. Getting up that. He's not the fastest of guys, but he was really moving off contact there. So Cal Raleigh steps up to the plate, swings at a first pitch changeup off of the plate for strike one. Big Country says, last year I get not being aggressive, but you have to this offseason. You do, Big Country. You've got to be aggressive. I mean, now's the time the team's showing you they're close enough. And this ball's hit up in the air. He got Cal Raleigh on back-to-back changeups there. Another one here where he just gets Cal to kind of feebly swing at it. Sure, Cal's looking more fastball or slider there. That will be out number 3, but the Mariners are able to add another run, which with how Castillo's pitching here, you're feeling good about that. No doubt about that. But you've got to go this offseason and be aggressive. I think really it does come down to being more as much anything spending the money where you have. That's the place to do this is that, you didn't completely rob your farm system with the Castillo deal that you made. So you still have things relatively well set up there. You'd like to maintain that strength, but now you do have some money to spend. And now it's about going out and finding those guys from a money spending standpoint that can do it. Or if there is a trade, it's a trade where maybe you're able to package some of the major leaguers you have right now with only a couple of marginal prospects. And really you're offloading a team of their contract for still a relatively good player. That's a way you can go with it too. But no matter what, you're right, Big Country. You've got to be aggressive. Matt Beeler says it's time for an change. I'm ready, Matt. I'm ready. I just better see. I'm telling you guys. I've got the hammer pulled back on my gun because I see Castillo coming into an inning where he's not getting some borderline calls here, at least one or two somewhere along the way. And I'm going to go, okay, come on. Corona says, I was thinking that big guy from the apartment fight in The Punisher for Kelnick. The wrestler? The wrestler? I don't know on that one. I know what you're talking about. I know the Russian, the guy that plays the Russian in that. I don't know though. I swear I see that. I saw that Top Gun movie. I was like, Jared Kelnick in Top Gun? Osama says, Judge, got to be aggressive this year. The same for Cano. Well, you're in a different place than the Cano deal that you made at the time. And I didn't love the Cano deal because he was showing signs of already a diminishing skill set a little bit. Not badly, but enough so that it was going to start to click in. And then the 10-year deal when you did. Judge has not yet shown you the fall off is going to occur like right around the corner. I still probably think that Judge is not going to happen, though, because he's going to want to go to a big market. He's going to want to, I don't think he's going to want to come out to Seattle and all the traveling that entails. But if they can talk to him and see where he's at, that wouldn't be the worst of additions if you could make it. That'd be a hell of a guy to add to this lineup. But it wouldn't be necessarily the prime guy I'd be looking at. I think, really it was what I look is more of the type that you're looking for. You need a left fielder who can cover ground and can get on base and can hit for a high average. Maybe they feel like, I don't think that Swaggerty's going to be that long term. So 0-1, got to give the credit. He gave us one back. He gave Castillo one back, so he's bad both ways officially. 0-1, and then misses up high on a four-seam fastball here to the opening batter of this inning does Castillo, as he does continue to work very, very quickly. Boy, you can see with Manoah kind of labors through on his pitches a bit, takes his time. Castillo gets right up in there and just starts bumping. Right in on the hands, fouled back. Tapia 0 for 1 in this game. We got a 1-2 count, bottom of the fifth. TJ Gaming says, now Jay's got to face Gilbert and Kirby the next two games. Is it that? We're not doing TJ. We're not doing Robbie Ray in one of them. I thought I'd seen Robbie Ray was going to be one of them, but that would make a little more sense. 1-2 count. Into his wind. Batted foul. Tapia staying alive there. Staying alive. TJ says, Blue Jay choking. I don't know. I think Mariners are just playing well here. Their hitters are doing a good job with their approach. Raleigh with the big bomb. Castillo into his wind here, 1-2. Dirts it on a changeup, 2-2. 2-2. Big Country says, Judge staying with the Yankees or going to the Giants or Dodgers? Agreed. I think it's a big market deal he goes to and a big market team. Probably won't be us. That's okay. There's other guys we can target just as long as we're being aggressive. 2-2 pitch hit up into the air. Jared Kelnick under it over in left field, and he will put this one away. Solid contact there by Tapia. Just kind of hit it right at the field. Matt Beeler says, hopefully Kyle Lewis gets healthy. I'm hoping. I do wonder about that knee, Matt. And is it ever going to get to a healthy state? We've seen in football where there's times where a knee can be in just sort of a degenerative condition. And there seems to be some indications here with Kyle that may be somewhat of the case of what's going on there. It's weird how far off he's been from where he was being so good, so young early on. And it would be great to have him back into play. This ball's first pitch swinging up in the air, deep to center. Not quite to the warning track. Julio is underneath it, and he will put him away for out number 2. So quick couple outs here for the Toronto Blue Jays. Castillo with 7 flyouts, 6 groundouts, and 1 strikeout. Very balanced in that nature. And I believe 6 of those flyouts have gone to Julio Rodriguez. 58 pitches for Castillo. Things are set up well here so far. But I hope Kyle can get it back. If Kyle can, Matt, that'd be huge. One less thing that you need to look for if they feel confident in him being able to come back. I think they're still not going to rely on it, though, which may make it harder for him. First pitch, 99-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees and outside for strike 1 here to Merrifield. Castillo continues to do a very good job of pumping the zone here and not making this easy on the Blue Jay lineups. No free passes. Slider, low, ball 1, 1-1. Merrifield 0 for 1 in this game. Castillo with the delivery. Strike. Two-seam fastball there. That two-seamer looked like a slider. It had so much movement on it. All right, 1-2 pitch, outside away, slider, 2-2. Chrono says I want more contact hitters. That's why I lean to when I look at the priority of a left fielder who's a really good fielder, who can run, who can hit for a high average. Usually a high average guy that's going to, more than being the power guy, is going to get more contact. This ball is hit up into the air. This might be trouble, and it will. Man, another little blooping hit that the Blue Jays are able to get in this game. They have gotten the luck and benefit of a couple of those in this one. Just sort of throws the bat at the ball and just kind of gets it to bloop on in there. That's tough. But I'm the same way for that reason. And let's remember, too, that the shift is going out of baseball next year. So having a guy that, can have more bat control, plate discipline, that's going to be more rewarded with the lack of those shifts next year. But I think that would be more helpful for that stadium, having a left fielder that could do that type of stuff. That'd be where I'd really lock in at. And if you can find more of the power bat from right field. This ball's hit on the ground. First pitch swinging by Springer. Foul. 0-1. Springer had a single in his last at bat. Checks the top of his bat, and it looks like he cracked it. He needs a new one. That sinker is nasty, Ethan. He's got a good arsenal of pitches, does Castillo. He's not just a one-trick pony. Big Country says, would Frazier and Winker benefit from the shift ban? Winker will benefit. Winker will definitely benefit because he's such a dead pull hitter. Frazier's got a little bit more of an ability to work opposite field and hit it up the middle. So I think he's already got kind of some of that built-in control to how he goes at it at the plate. 0-1 here, hit on the ground, and this might be trouble. It is trouble. That will be another base hit, just a slow rolling base hit to the right side. Boy, Blue Jays have had some luck here. Springer covers his eyes. Seeing eye single is what they call those. Just a little bouncing ball. Frazier's going to be playing a little bit closer to second base because that's a right-handed hitter. And he just sort of, again, puts the bat out on the ball and just kind of bounces into a spot where the Mariners aren't. Castillo did miss his spot a little bit here. They set on the outside part of the plate. He ended up coming back inside. He still sawed him off. Frazier made a good play of it, but that's just nothing you can do about that. And unfortunately, France is not in a position because he's got to hold the runner at first to be able to get off the bag to make a play. Bo Bichette up to the plate now. Dangerous territory here for Castillo. First pitch, banged foul on a slider by Bo Bichette. Bichette 1 for 2 with a single in this game. And that had a lot of the plate there. Blue Jay fans are standing up in the stands, beckoning Bo Bichette forward. Swing and a miss on a slider, low and away. Nice pitch there by Castillo. This is where I try to play with that strike zone now. I've got an umpire calling the zone a little wide. Let me see if I can paint off the corner here on an 0-2 pitch. Let me see if I can wind it right around that plate and get myself a little bit of a strike call here. Definitely keep it low. Definitely keep it out of his wheelhouse. 0-2 pitch. 2 men on, bottom of the 5th. Hit right back up the middle. Frazier's there. Throws him out. End of the inning. Mariners maintain their lead. Nice job by Castillo once again getting out of trouble. Well-pitched game by him. These are 6. He's got 6 hits given up in this game, but these are not 6 legitimate hits. There might be 1 or 2 of these that are legit. He has pitched a phenomenal game. And that's showing you all of the aspects you get with an ace outside of just getting a high amount of Ks. And that he's working with a variety of pitches. He's keeping the hitters off balance. Second time through the lineup, we saw him with more of a use of the changeups. Pitching carefully to these guys, not missing often, being fairly pinpoint in his control. But he's a fun guy to watch pitch and go about his business as Castillo. And a great game so far. 5 innings, no runs, 6 hits, no walks, 1 strikeout. This is why we make that trade. It's why you give up the prospects. Rugg says Ty France kind of looks like Josh Allen. I see that. I can see that. Matt Beeler says, where's big money contract? First baseman Evan White? Maybe. I don't know if I want to go first base necessarily. France is not amazing, but he's fine for it. You just have other spots in this lineup to me that are such big holes, being a left field, right field at times, DH at times. Those are some of the places really where I look at. I'm not opposed to first base and doing something with that. But the only issue I have with that is that you potentially go and make your upgrade there, and then you end up at that point then not addressing what was the really bigger problem, and you're only getting the moderate upgrade over what you had. Nitro Hawk, did I listen to Callan Cowherd on Russ? I did. Seems like it changed a little bit, Nitro, from what he was saying last night on the volume to what he was saying today. And, I think Cowherd's trying to hold on for dear life on a take that's not born out of what he thought or thinks, but is born out of a relationship with Mark Rogers and Russell Wilson. And now he's trying to play the balancing act of, let me be honest and truthful with my audience, but then let me also placate and bring forward my relationship with Rogers and Wilson. And I think that those two things don't always go together well. And he's struggling with it, I think. Pablo Tescobar says, my grandpappy keeps using a cork bat to stat pad. How can I stop this? Well, once a cheater, always a cheater, man. What are you going to do? Mitch Haniger steps up to the plate here to start out the top of the 6th inning and takes a huge bending slider for a ball 1. Haniger 0 for 2 in this game. Outside, ball 2. Very close pitch there. Umpire has been calling that a strike. Maybe somebody did finally talk to this ump. Get your stuff together, man. You're a major league umpire. Come on. 2-0 pitch here. Boy, Mitch Haniger he is way too free swinging. He's not good enough to be that free swinging. Already in this game, he's 3-0 on a pitch where he free swings at it and doesn't put a good swing on the ball. He's 2-0 here. Opening batter of this inning, Manoah's at times struggled with his control, and then he swings like he gets a green light. I mean, Mitch isn't that good. I'm sorry. He's not been that good this year to be able to think that he's earned that ability to be swinging that freely like that. Make the guy throw you a strike. What's your rush? Like, you're not going to get another pitch after this? Is that what we're worried about? A couple of odd at-bats from Haniger tonight, or this afternoon. And that will bring up Carlos Santana with one man down. Santana, much like we just saw from Haniger, 2 really miserable approaches at the plate. And Santana, much like Haniger, these are your two guys have been the worst at-bats in this lineup. First pitch swinging, just like he did on the last at-bat. Bounces the ball into the turf, right back to the pitcher. No patience from these 2 Mariner batters in this inning. Both coming out and just free swinging it, whatever, and it's not helping them. That's what guys are talking about bringing back Mitch Haniger. It's like, I'm good. I want to get better than that. That's not good enough. And Santana's deal with his is he's way too free swinging. And that's going to be all for Manoah. They're going to go ahead and take him out of the game now at this point with 2 men out. Kind of an odd moment to take him out of the game. Only 79 pitches, but I'm guessing that they are wanting to maybe preserve him for when maybe they need to bring him back again in this series at this point. Thinking this game's kind of is what it is, but nice for the Mariners to be able to get in the bullpen here in the 6th inning. Inconsistent approach showing again, Big Country. Yep. You've done so well through this lineup for the most part. Guys like Crawford in this lineup today. There's a couple other guys here too. I'm trying to think of the other people like Eugenio. I've liked his approach and France's approach for the most part today, but you've got the other ones in this where it's first pitch. You're going to be up there swinging. What's the worry about getting with a little depth into the, get yourself into the at bat a little bit. So often these guys do the first pitch and it's just not to their benefit. The swings are, it's like they've decided pre-pitch that they're going to swing. And then even once it's off the plate, they're still waving at it and then just meekly hitting it somewhere as opposed to just wait to get your pitch. That's what I loved about the Cal Raleigh at bat. It was so obvious that he was trying to sit on something high in the zone. And once he got that pitch, he did something with it. That's a place where even if you're going to be aggressive early on, I'm okay with you being aggressive. Where was Santana looking to in these last 2 at-bats? What pitch was he looking for in what part of the zone? And I think instead he was just being reactionary and just sort of swing. Swing. Steele said, fell asleep and woke up. I love baseball. Grotto's second and right field are positional pieces of better defense and better batting. Yeah. Agreed. Ethan says, all right, time for the bullpen. Not sure why they took Manoah out at 78. That's actually really weird. I think it's a little weird if you consider it, though, that they could come back and put him on short rest and get him back on, and that he didn't throw 100 pitches. So they're probably looking at this game. The Blue Jays manager is, and he's saying, okay, I got that Seattle bullpen. I have Castillo still, able to get through another inning or 2 at least before they get to that top-notch bullpen. It's going to be maybe hard to come back in this game. Let's preserve Manoah rather than sinking more into this game at the loss of using him into the future, which is it is a little odd, but it's also understandable. It's also got there it makes a little bit of sense. Blue Jays are going to go with Tim Mazza, 3.14 ERA and 48 2/3 innings this year. Right on the button, much like Manoah, with a 23% strikeout rate, which is right at major league average. That will bring up Kelnick, who is first pitch swinging. All 3 of these batters this inning, first pitch swinging, and that will end this inning. Boy, brutal inning for the at-bats there. Brutal inning. It's worse service from a manager standpoint. Can you tell your guys to chill out sometimes? Just, I understand hitting home runs is what you guys do, but nobody can just take one pitch, maybe? Just one pitch? I think with Kelnick, he's probably getting frustrated a little bit. This has been a tough game on some of the calls he's gotten, and he very well knows that if he gets a good pitch to hit, that might be the only one he gets, as the umpires have kind of been selling him, but that was tough. Asama says Kelnick does look like Handmang except for the hat. Exactly. Well, there is that. There is that part. All right, so we got end of the inning there. I'm going to be right back here, folks. 1 second. Alrighty. Slide back on in here, the green screen. Okay, so Castillo back in on the mound now, and he has quickly gotten an 0-1 count here on Vladdy. Bottom of the 6th inning. Castillo had 69 pitches here. The wind, the delivery, inside on a slider, 1-1. Guerrero 0 for 2 today. It's been very much the story of this with Guerrero. I think he's had a couple of opportunities, at least last time with the guys on base. Castillo with the sign and the wind. Back up high. Well, you got to give Castillo this too. When the catcher sets up high or sets up low and outside, when he misses inside, he doesn't miss inside with the big meaty portion of the plate. He misses inside on the inside corner up at the hands of the right-handed batter. It almost has the same feeling for the batter of like they're about to get hit on a ball that they have to kind of swing at, and he just strikes Vladimir Guerrero out on that exact kind of, that's more just a straight cheese. He gave him the burner, but it's so hard with that kind of movement from a pitcher like that. I've got to protect the outside of the plate, but it might suddenly explode in on my hands late instead as I'm trying to recognize that outside pitch. Just part of what makes Castillo so difficult to deal with. And there, that ball just ran right into his hands on that strikeout. 1 man out now. High, ball 1 here. Strike. Well, umpire's giving us a call back, so I can't say it's a homer ump anymore. That's the second call he's given the Mariners. Maybe New York told him, like, you got to give him a few back in this one. You messed this up so badly. Strike 2. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Either way, this ump has definitely been a reason why they need to go robo umps. 1-2 count. Here's delivery. Batted foul. Castillo, 18 balls, 58 strikes. 58 strikes to just 18 balls in this game. Great job of working the zone here. And he does miss there, which will bring this to a 2-2 count. The human gnome is up at the plate, by the way. He's 5'5", both tall and 4'5" by width and belly. Ball hit 99 mile an hour up into the air, foul back by Kirk. Keeps the count 2-2. Danny W. Should the Mariners move George Kirby to the closer, or does keeping him our traditional closers work better? I think George Kirby's value is at its best, Daniel, in the starting rotation long term. That's where I want to keep him. His ability to throw strikes as consistently as he does. You know, a lot of times you put those power arms in the bullpen, it's because they can't often find. It's a little bit like what you get from Diego Castillo, where sometimes it's hit or miss on whether you're going to get them hit in the zone or not. Good job here by Kirk, getting this count to 3-2. Castillo's kind of been playing with him a little bit here. Gets him to hit this one up in the air. Let's see if this is going to be playable. It is. Cal Raleigh able to gather this in right at the netting on the backside there. Very well done there by Cal to track that one. And that will be out number 2 here for this inning. Nicely done. So I keep him in the starting rotation. I like about this rotation going forward is that we get to now concentrate this offseason not on starting pitching, not on bullpens, and not on closers. We get to know that we're fairly well set there. You know, and that you can make a move down the road if you have to address some of that. What you really get to concentrate on lock-on is helping this lineup out. First pitch swinging, right to Eugenio Suarez. He gathers it up from the hot corner and throws that runner out. Toronto lineup remaining very aggressive themselves. That's now 6 innings up, 6 innings down. No runs for them. Mariners up 4-0. How about that? How about that? So I'd keep that there, Daniel. Maybe I'd feel differently if you had a little bit more of a slider bullpen, but I don't. I like where they're at. To me, closers are an up and down game. Closers have a hard time maintaining 4, 5, 6 years of, more so than the starters do to me at times, where it's just maybe it's the stress of the position and having so much on you, but you just see those guys more in that flux of up and down. And let's just keep Kirby where he is and let that keep rolling. Big Country says, Russ is getting blasted so much today. I've never seen him get this much criticism. No, I haven't either. Russ has never had the flames firing this hotly on him before. Not because, honestly, that he hasn't played as bad as he's playing right now. He has. He has played this bad before. But now the national media spotlight is on him because of this offseason. He's not just playing in Seattle anymore. It was on prime time with the expectation levels that are there. And now it becomes brighter because of that. And I don't want to see anything bad done with Russ, but I just want things to be understood for what they truly are. And that, in some of his failings and some of the things that he doesn't do right, I think that's got to be put more of a spotlight. And that's the only way Russ is ever going to correct him, is if people do hold him to that accountability factor. I mean, this is the thing the Legion of Boom talked about with him time and again. So he wasn't held accountable until later, much later. And it's like, that's a little bit of what I worry with him when you watch his game, is where is the accountability? Where's the coach saying, no, you need to hit this route? And you're hearing a lot of this criticism based around people saying, he misses this guy here. He misses Hamler in the slot. He does. And he should see that stuff. And as Shannon Zorb said, that's any NFL quarterback's going to see that and make that throw and hit that. Usama Ben Diesel says, think we'll see Kikuchi this series? No. Not unless things go wrong for the Blue Jays and more deep into their bullpen. Skylar Thomas Folgers, anyone? Those are some coffee can dimensions. He's one of those old tins. Oh, goodness. Pablo Tescobar says, longest time you've spent in a bath, excluding weekends? Longest time I've spent in a bath. I don't know, maybe 45 minutes. I don't know. I don't know the last time, Pablo, I took a bath. It might have been multiple decades since I last took a bath. But probably when I was like last sick. Strike outside part of the plate here. We got a 1-1 count here to Adam Frazier to lead things off here in the top of the 7th. Mariners up 4-0. You get the bottom of the order turning over here for your Mariners this inning. Ball batted on the ground right to the first baseman. Vladdy is up with it, and he walks over and taps the bag. That'll be out number 1. Mariners lineup has definitely quieted down since those early fireworks. It's definitely tampered down just a little bit. Daniel says, closer for the playoff series. Right now he isn't slated to play in the first 3 games of this wild card, and it's a way to get him in the game. Closer. I don't know. I'm not sure on that, Daniel. I mean, I don't think so, but I haven't given it a lot of thought either, to be honest with you. All right, JP up to the plate here. He's going to take a first pitch strike. Blue Jays did make another change here this inning by going to the lefty here out of the pen. Are they to their... Oh, I guess this is still just the lefty from last inning. Okay. Same guy. I hadn't noticed that he was a lefty. So that's also why they made that move with Manoah, is that they get the lefty matchup into this inning as well, with making that change when they did. They had the Kelnick, and then they got lefty, Crawford, lefty. And Crawford hits this to the shortstop. Bichette's up with it with ease. Running on up, makes the nice throw. 2 men quickly out here in the top of the 7th. Matt Beeler says Casey Sadler will be back next year. There we go. 283 says, I honestly kind of feel bad for Russ. Everyone's hating on him. And Big Country says, Russ put this on himself. And 283 says, I know. Yeah, I'm. There's a part of me that wants to be like, let me have some sympathy for Russ. Let me see that he is really getting it. But there's the thing that makes it hard for me to have the sympathy for him, 283, is that this has been like a dam that's been overpressured for too long, and now the waters are just completely spilling and giving way, and the dam is falling apart and crumbling. And it's so hot and heavy right now because it's for so long been held back, and he has been so insulated and protected from criticism. And as much as it's a hard thing to see, or as much as it's a tough thing to see on him, at the end of the day, this could be a helpful thing for Russ. Because as I pointed out many times, 283, it could be just that his skills are diminished. It could be that he's maybe getting closer to washed than he is to where he was with his prime. I still don't think that's entirely the case. I still do come back and tend to lean to believe that, what really needs to happen here is that he just needs to grow those old man skills. He needs that post-doctorate work from the quarterback position, and only certain coaches can provide you that post-doctorate work. There's not those type of professors looming around every corner. But that to get it fixed, you got to take the accountability. You got to accept, I'm not an amazing and brilliant all on my own. And you can see in Russell over the years, he's given you indications that that's not exactly the way he feels or looks at his game. Even when he does take blame or sort of owns it, it's always with a little bit of an asterisk of, yeah, but. Daniel, I think Russ is delusional about his abilities. I think he truly believes he's a lot better than he currently is. I think as well, I come back to that, Daniel, where I think he just didn't look at the stuff that he needed to grow in his game, in the cerebral element of the game. And it's not a matter of aptitude. He has the aptitude to do it, but it's just to build that approach into what you do and how you go about your business is what I'm talking about. And that's the part where I don't think he's done it, because I think he's always leaned back and said, I'm physically good enough to get it done. I'm physically got the arm. I have the mobility. I can overcome not being, the A student in the classroom. And you can't. Not as you get older, not as those skills start to diminish that you once so wholly relied upon. Kronos just found out this is the plate ump that ejected Julio in France for questioning his calls on 2 different games. I didn't see why they call it dumb. I can see why they question it. They're the one where Julio traced in the ground where the pitch was. All right, so the Cardinals going to Yimi Garcia here, the right-hander, to get the matchup of righty-righty at the top back into this lineup of the Mariners here. So definitely Blue Jay manager is playing that lefty-lefty, righty-righty matchup, and the ball just off the plate. Good eye there by Julio on the first pitch, 1-0. Julio in this game 0 for 1, though he has been hit by 2 pitches. And if they hit him here, 1-0, Julio with a big swing. Sends it back, foul, 1-1. Oh, Brendan Nelson's in the house. He defecated through a sunroof. Who defecated through a sunroof? All right, 1-1 count here. Julio hits this hard base hit, banged in the left field. Julio took a curveball there and yanked it. Nicely done by Julio. 1 man on. It's been first base hit for the Mariners in quite a bit of time here. But what's up, Brendan? Good to see you in the chat, man. Had fun last night. It was fun kind of watching Russ melt down a little bit. I probably enjoyed that way more. I'm probably a worse person for enjoying it as much as I did. Grug, everyone speaking of hating a quarterback, seems like everyone gave up on Will Levis. Not sure why. He's got the moments of turnovers and other. It's just people think he's too wild. Everybody wants their college quarterbacks crystal clean, playing, throwing with all the yards and all that. And if it doesn't show up like that, then they're out. But you got to look a little closer with him, in my opinion. And Ty France steps up to the plate, takes a first pitch slider right down the middle there for strike 1. Skyler, I think Russ would benefit from going back to the basics that got him the success he had been known for. He needs to remember 1-2 step, pop it, lock it, drop it. Everybody 1-2 step, 1-2 step, 1-2 step. Oh, he's got to just go back to Sierra beginnings on that one. I agree with you, Skyler. I'm with it. Everybody 1-2 step. Strike at the knees, 2-seam fastball there. Again, right over the middle part of the plate there to France. Must have been looking some other pitch there, maybe the slider on that one. Quickly up, down 0-2 here is Ty. Brendan, who defecated through a sunroof? I need to know. Remember the time, to be honest, both Atlanta and Seattle may have won their trades after last night. Both quarterbacks were garbage. Yeah. This bounced right back up the middle to the pitcher. Garcia's on it. He will throw France out for out number 3. Julio gets a base hit, but the Mariners are not able to add any more on here. They are up 4-0 as we will head into the bottom of the 7th. Everybody 1-2 step. 1-2 step. Yeah, I think both probably did win those trades. Atlanta, many people were wondering a little bit why they think they didn't get more for Matt Ryan. I think we can understand why that was the case, but he's fallen off even to a more stiffer degree than Russ has. I mean, he is a shell of his once former self, or at least Russ has the physical ability still there. But we're definitely looking. It's fun listening to the national media today talking about how Seattle finessed, tricked. That part is enjoying. I'm enjoying that. They got the first and another first and then 2 second-round picks. Yes, we did. Yes. Mm-hmm. And a yeah. Mm-hmm. Ian Tech trade deadline. Broncos are finalizing a trade for Geno Smith. They realize they picked the wrong quarterback, per sources. It's tough. Me and Brendan were talking about this last night too. What's the fastest you've ever seen a team off of a quarterback that they went out and put as much into him as they did? You don't see fan bases out that quickly. They were booing him from the first game. Like they were sort of preloaded for it almost a little bit. Or it just looks that bad to them. It just looks that heinous. Daniel says, okay, it just seems odd to me. Georgia Kirby had been one of the best regular season pitchers, and outside of Julio, arguably rookie of the year, we aren't going to give him any snaps in this series. Oh, well, if it's coming out of the if it's coming out of the bullpen in this series because you have Robbie Ray going, then I'd be okay with that then. I'm all right with that. I didn't know that that's what you meant, Daniel. I'm sorry. So, yeah, for the series, I would do it if you need to call upon it. My thing on that was with Robbie is that you have Robbie go, and then if Robbie shows he's having one of his struggle days where he's not locked in, you just get him out of there quick, and then Kirby's called upon then at that point. That was my thinking of how you apply that one. He's your insurance in case, because Robbie's been at times a little consistent in some of these games. All right, Castillo back out on the mound here to start out the bottom of the 7th inning. He has 82 pitches thrown. 1-0 count here. He is going to get to face a little bit more closer to the bottom of the lineup here, and that's a swing and a miss by Chapman, 1-1. Chapman, a guy hit 229 this year, though he did hit 27 home runs. So he does have some pop in that bat. The wind, the delivery outside. Ball 2-1. Certainly, I think Luis is a little bit here getting a little bit tired. You can see the controls not quite as pinpoint locked in over the last inning or so. So he certainly is feeling these innings adding up a bit. Nice pitch there. Fastball, outside corner. Strike, 2-2. That was foul tipped. Steele will come set here. This will be his 86th pitch of the game. Swing and knock back foul by Chapman. 98-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone. He'll still hit 98 deep into the 7th inning. Boy, you'd like it if we could just get you through one more inning here. Preserve that bullpen and through the latter parts of this series. Castillo with the wind. Strike 3. Gets him on a slider inside at the kneecaps. Wonderful pitch there by Luis Castillo. A ton of movement. Great location. That will get the job done on a pitch like that. One man out. Bottom of the 7th inning. Mariners up 4-0 here. First game of this playoff series. Romel Tapia comes up to the plate. Takes the first pitch, 4-seam fastball for strike 1. Tapia 0 for 2 in this game. Strike. 98-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone. Quickly 0-2 here. Castillo sets up again with the wind. Throws him a little change up there. Again, man, as a guy that was once former pitcher that did not have any sort of anything close to a power arm, to see a guy be able to throw a change up at 91 miles an hour, that's just ridiculous. It's his change up. High, fastball. Count's drawn to 2-2 now. Don't play with him, Luis. Don't play with him. Get back in the zone here with him. 2-2 pitch here, bottom of the 7th inning. Swing, knocked foul. It stays alive there on a slider inside. You have a lefty this side versus the last time it was a right-handed hitter just a second ago, but same kind of pitch there to try to kill him. Sweeping slider inside at their ankles. Hard pitch for lefty or righty to get to. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 98-mile-an-hour fastball top of the zone, and he went right through it. Castillo dialing up a couple of strikeouts to begin this inning. He says, I am going to finish this cake off right. The frosting is going to be perfect. Now, where are my candles? Two men out here. Bottom of the 7th. That is going to bring up the 8th man in the lineup here for the Blue Jays, Danny Jensen. Jensen, first pitch, swinging, bats it foul to Eugenio. Again, I think with Danny, he just needs more of the Chris Sabo goggles. He's rocking those, they're too nerdy. And I know he's trying to toughen it up by then just going with the bare hands and no batting gloves. But you need the Sabo goggles to look tough as a baseball player. Swings right through the 99-mile-an-hour fastball for 0-2. Somebody's got to tell him. Maybe it's a Canada thing. It's probably a Canada thing. 0-2. Change up in the dirt. I like that throw by Castillo. He did the very same thing on the last batter. I'm going to throw the change up, but if this change up hangs, it's going to hang flopping into the dirt. I'm not going to hang this up high and over the middle of the plate. Just an outstanding approach all game long by Luis Castillo. 1-2. Sweeping slider low and away. Ball 2. Good eye there by Jensen. Wu-Tang Financial says Matt Ryan aged like 5 years in the offseason. He did indeed. 2-2 pitch. Change up, low and away. 3-2. All right, come on, Luis. Get through this inning, man. Get through this guy. And then let the bullpen close the rest out for you. 2 innings. Then Munoz-Sewald time. Munoz-Sewald time. One more pitch. That's all you got to draw out, my man. Swinging and a miss. Get him. Strike 3. Luis Castillo comes back and goes right through the batting order here. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts. Brilliant pitch there. Brilliant pitch. Just says, I'm going to just come back, struggle a little bit here to find my space. I'm a little tired. It's getting a little late in this game. My pitch count is up. F it. Number one catch. Drop the number 1 down because that's what you're about to get. Don't even place your glove. Don't even try to spot it. He ain't going to hit it. It ain't going to matter. Awesome game by Luis Castillo. This is what you hope to get from a number 1 starter. These are the kind of games, not just the games of the regular season, but when it matters in the playoffs. Talked to you guys about why I had some confidence in this team coming into this playoffs. Because 3 of the pillars that you lean upon as a team, starting pitching, bullpen, defense, those things play in October baseball. Those things play in the playoffs. Those things can take you far in the playoffs because they do hold up in the regular season, but they do hold up in the postseason too. A guy like Castillo is just as nasty, if not more so, because sometimes those guys can call upon a little bit extra, right? Where they're gliding through the course of a year and they don't always have to go 95, 100% in every game. And you're seeing him hit triple digits in this game to start it off. Luis came in understanding what the stakes are in this one. Wonderful to see. He just pitched a great game. 7 innings, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, no walks. No walks. He was going to make this Blue Jay team earn it every step. Now the bullpen's just going to have to close this thing out for him, and they've got some room for error. So, Munoz-Sewald. Let's go. Big Country says the Bronco fans leaving before OT was hilarious too. I've never seen anything like that in my life. That was hilarious though. That the fans leaving in a tie game at OT for a team that's 2-2. Never seen anything like that before. Again, the Bronco fans just saying we're done. Done on this experience. Either my favorite part was the Bronco fans counting down the play clock like someone was entering the WWE Royal Rumble. Another thing I've never seen before, Ethan. Bronco fans are showing me something a little bit. I didn't know that they had all this in their bag. I just thought they were one of those kind of chill fan bases, just sort of sits back, watches the game. Yes, that's good. So Zach Pop is out on the hill now for the Toronto Blue Jays with a 2.77 ERA. Blue Jays working through their bullpen a little bit here in this game. Eugenio Suarez steps up to the plate, takes a first pitch fastball on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. 283 says, do you think we can beat the Astros if we win this series? If we do, I'm not really scared of the Yanks or anyone else. They're the ones I'm most scared about, to your point. 0-1 pitch outside, ball one. Good eye there by Eugenio. They're the ones I'm most scared about to play this off through this AL. They've had our number recently. They've got a really good team. They've played strong throughout this season. They didn't just get hot and kind of hit the cruise control. Felt like they were always through every month pretty solid, and that's a legitimately really good team. So can we beat them? Yeah, we can. Are they the giant that we've got to slaughter here at this point? Are they kind of the nemesis that's had our number that we've got to kind of prove it at this point? Yeah, that as well. And we haven't proven it this yet. That's been the thing that's continued to maintain as this Mariner team has been on the rise, where the Astros have still kind of had your number. And it was tough coming out at the end of that All-Star break with a couple of those series where they kind of gave it to us. 2-1 pitch here to Eugenio. Hit hard, and that's going to be a base hit opposite field. How about Eugenio with a couple of opposite field base hits in this game? Been a guy very much about pulling and yanking the ball throughout this year, being a lot more patient here in this game in his approach and allowing the ball to get in on him a little bit. Really good pitch there by Pop too. That was a slider that was working its way back to the plate. Eugenio stayed on top of it and able to just go with the pitch. Good line drive stroke. Well done. 4-0. Seattle Mariners. Nobody out. Eugenio on first. Cal Raleigh, who has the big swing in this game. 2-run home run. Comes up to the plate. Ball outside. Two-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour. Ethan Duckworld says, absolutely sensational. Oh my God, freaking amazing. Luis Castillo. He is amazing, man. He's that dude. 1-0 here to Cal. You got to figure he's got that bat loaded up to bear right now. Outside part of the plate. Well, a good pitch there by Pop. He's locating the corners really well here to start this off. Cody Odell, what's up, bro? Can you play the sound? I can't, Cody. It'll get me copywritten, stricken, copywritten, so don't copy me. Yeah, Cody, I'd love to do that, but YouTube clamps down on that type of stuff. So, unfortunately, I can't. Sorry, bud. I'm sorry. Outside, I will take the count to 2-1. So 2-1. Osama Bin Diesel says, that's our ace. Yeah, he is. That's our number one right there. Wu-Tang says, Castillo's been straight dealing today against a dangerous team. Boy, has he ever. And he danced on top of the alligators' heads like James Bond in that one movie like it was nothing. Cal with a big monster swing on a slider that came very close to hanging a little bit there. He just went right through it. Cal was on and just barely missed it there. 2-2. Ethan says, that's why you make that trade. That's right. That's exactly why you make that trade for moments like this. 2-2. Suarez on first. Nobody out. Wildly inside there, bouncing. Good job by the catcher there. The trash can was able to. When you're as big as a trash can, though, you can't let any pass balls, right? You can throw your belly in front of it with that big belly, and you're going to knock him down. So I mean, I'll give him some credit, but some of that was the belly. Some of that was the general dimensions of size of the catcher, allowing that to stay in front. He just turns his belly to it. You can see him doing the move. Pop says, go Mariners, looking real good today. Boy, are they ever. How big would we be able to take this opening game of this series? Huge. 3-2 pitch here to Cal. Oh, got him to swing outside on a pitch well off the plate. That's ball 4 right there. And Cal just gearing up to swing there almost prior to the pitch. So that will be one man down. Puff says, thanks for streaming, listening at work. My pleasure, Puff. I got to stream on days like this, man. If we're in the playoffs, you know I'm going to be streaming. So hopefully for those folks not able to watch it today, I'm able to provide a little bit of eyes and ears on the scene here, because I know many of you are at work, and that is rough. Ethan says, worth it 5 times over? You better believe it. All right, let's see if Mitch Haniger can do anything here with one man out. He's had a couple of real odd at-bats here to begin things out. Last 2 at-bats, starts out 3-0, and then starts getting free swinging at 3-0, odd. And then last at-bat, he had a 2-0 count, swung at a pitch that was really not in his zone to swing at. So let's see if he can maintain the full patience through this at-bat, as we were just saying with Cal Raleigh, whose patience left him there and kind of cost him in that bat of getting on base here with 2 men on, nobody out. 1-0. Again, free swing, and Haniger goes up there and lets it rip on a pitch 2-3 inches inside there. Bats it foul. He's not going to do anything with that pitch. Haniger chomping at the bit in this game to get that bat swinging, and it's at his own detriment, much like it's been with Carlos Santana today. 2 guys in this lineup that have really, really struggled. One pitch here. 1 man down. Outside, ball. Got to make this guy throw a strike. He's struggling with his control a little bit. Top of the 8th inning. Mariners are up 4-0. Blue Jays will be having the top of their order coming back to play next inning. Not going to be easy for that Mariner bullpen. 2-1 pitch. Haniger hits this down the line. Fair! That ball gets into the corner. Eugenio is up, digging for third, and he will get down safely. That'll be a double for Mitch Haniger. There's a nice swing on that pitch. A little redemptive arc there for Haniger in this game. That'll put runners on second and third with 1 man down. Got to get this run in. It keeps a grand slam from beating you with 5 runs. And very well done there. Stayed on that pitch. Put a good swing. Got low with his back leg there to really get down and dig that pitch out into the corner. Nicely done. Good stuff. And the Blue Jays are going to make yet another pitching change here. Wow, he's going, and understandable. Pop was looking like he was struggling with his control there. Even Raleigh bailed him out a little bit. So if I'm the coach there, I certainly would have maybe a little bit of a quicker hook for my guy not looking like he's ready on that. Cody Odell. So I don't know if you just heard, man. I can't play the sound because it gets me copywritten strict. So I know there's people who would love me to be able to play the sound, play video. If I could do that without getting harmed or having it harm my channel, I would absolutely do that for you. But it does. I know I may not understand. You may not understand because you're like, well, how will they? They've got literal bot programs that will hit you the second that you do that stuff. They don't just have like a human being watching these streams, making sure you're not playing it. They've got bot programs that will just automatically do it. And so it's not worth the risk for me to risk my channel so you can hear the sound. I'm sorry, but I can't do it, brother. Cody says why it's a channel. So I just explained why, Cody. Do you understand what copywritten strikes, man? My channel gets copywritten. My channel gets taken down. That's why. I can't explain it to you any more clearer than that. There's a reason why, Cody, that you can't just type in Mariners right now and have it. A lot of Mariners streams pop up with the Mariners being played on a lot of YouTube channels. They're not going to let me do it. The second I turn it on, it doesn't matter whether I turn it on or not. It's going to get turned off the second I do. Because like I just told you, there's a bot program going through. Yeah, it's okay. Cody, you don't understand. You understand, man. Next year. Trouble says, I love this channel. No copyright strikes. I agree. Pop says, I remember my first time on YouTube. Yeah, maybe next year, Cody. Sure. All righty. So we got another pitching change. What are they through? Five relievers here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitchers for your Blue Jays here in this particular baseball game. And Castillo comes up and it's quickly 0-1 on him. Of course, a switch hitter is Santana. I think I said Castillo. And Castillo quickly in an 0-2 count. You can see on that second pitch, that's a bit off the plate there. He's such a free swinger. It's a good thing Santana's got a 43-inch long bat because he's got to get to a lot. He needs a lot of extra plate coverage, if you know what I mean. Blue Jays playing this with a little bit of a shift here. Can't get struck out here, Carlos. You've got to get this in play. And instead he gets struck out on a changeup. Santana looking just miserable in this game at the plate. You got to get that the bat on the ball there. And just gets out in front of the change. He's looking fastball. Fools him a little bit. Brutal. Brutal there. All right, Jared Kelnick comes up, and Kelnick's had some bad luck today. This umpire has been selling on him all game long. Let's see if Jared can get a call here. Or as I'm going to call him Hangman. And then he swings at a slider or a changeup in the dirt. Wow, this reliever's got a nasty change. And Swanson looks like is that Swanson? It's not Seawald they got working. So it looks like they're going to bring Seawald out here in the eighth. Munoz also looking like he's going to start working here. Kelnick bats it on the ground right to the first baseman, and this will be the third out of the inning. So that will retire the side. Mariners threaten, but are not able to bring a runner in with one less than 2 outs. The runner on third. We'll see if that does loom in this game later on. They are up still 4-0 though. Cody, do you think do you do the Diamondback games? Nope, I just do Mariner games, Cody. This is my second channel too, as far as I do mainly Seahawks channel, so I probably won't be doing many Diamondback games. I don't even get Diamondback games to watch, so because I'm local. Skylar Thomas says, sounds like you've been bought and sold by big tech, brother man. Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. Cody says, my friend Goose Sports plays the sound. Why he can, but not you? I don't know, man. I don't know. But I do know it's not worth the risk, you know. It's not worth the risk. I like my channel too much. Cody, do I do Niner games? No, I do Seahawks. So I'm a Seattle channel, Cody. Seattle Mariners, Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, I guess Goose Sports got that inside contact with YouTube, I guess. They got peoples. He's greasing palms. All right, so they go Seawald in the eighth? Does that make sense to do that? Why would you go Seawald in the eighth? That's possible, I guess. They do like, you know, Service likes that flexibility with it. I don't know. That they're showing this commercial with that guy. What's his name? From SNL. He is the luckiest man alive. That guy. There's no talent in that guy at all, and his talent is just being stoned. That's basically his talent. But Inlet says Luis first 2 outs, then Seawald. I'd guess it could be that. They look like they had Seawald going like he was ready to be the ready to go guy first things first. But then who are you going into the ninth? I guess. Interesting. Interesting approach. 283 says Seahawks. Brendan Nelson does Diamondback and 49er games. Oh, goodness. Oh, they're bringing Castillo back out there. He's at 100 pitches, and they're like, yeah, we don't care. Maybe this is just a pitch to the last batter of the inning here. Interesting. Luis must be feeling okay. Well, that's what you meant by Luis first 2 outs by the Inlet. I was like, huh? Okay. 0-2 here quickly. I mean, I'm okay with it, I guess. Definitely going to have your bullpen preserved for the rest of this series. Nitro Hawk, what's your score prediction for the Seahawks game? I think we lose 20-17. I just think that the Saints are going to be a little more. Saints are going to be in that mindset like the Niners were when we came back against them. The ball's inside here. 1-2. I think that they're going to be in that state of a little bit more desperate than necessarily we are in the state of where we are. And I think that they have enough talent in that desperation to give us just enough of a hard time. This ball's hit up into the air. 1-2. Haniger's under it. Easy out. Now number 1. Castillo continues to work through this lineup. Now that is going to turn us over here though soon. So this does bring you back to the top of the lineup. Let's see if Service is going to make a change here. Munoz looks like he's ready. And now Service has got his arms folded. Wow, interesting to go and keep and swing and a miss on the changeup. Springer there. Springer loading up for that fastball on that. Oh and 1. The line, delivery, bounced foul, 0-2. Boy, Castillo just locked in. And you can see Service pacing a little bit there, thinking, he's itching the trigger a little bit on this one. Like I think I can get away with one more batter with him. Pitch 107 from Luis Castillo is down in the dirt. Another change up there. 1-2. Cody, I wish you could do the sound next year. Well, Cody, if YouTube changes their rules, that'll happen. But if YouTube doesn't, I'm going to play by the rules. 1-2. Oh, just hit him right in the hand. Springer's screaming out. Definitely looks like that hurt a little bit. It's not man to do it. He's got you 1-2, so hit him right on the hands. Nitro says, I do think the Saints would win, but it would be nice if we could pull the win off. I'd love to see it, Nitro. I would. I just think it's a tough timing game on the road like that again. I think we're going to be in it. Don't get me wrong. Springer is definitely trying to squeeze that hand. That's got to be hurting. And just the ball just kind of got out of his hand a little bit weird there. Boy, these hitters now with these pitchers that have this movement have to get the bat going so fast, so early. And as you're getting that bat movement going and turning to the pitch, if the pitch comes back at you, you can't turn out of the pitch. Some of this with these hitters getting hit as often as they is it's them loading up early because these pitchers have such explosive stuff, but it puts them into a vulnerable position at times. Big countries, it makes sense. We haven't won here since 2004 to 2006. Yeah, it's been a long time. Springer's still being checked out there. And he'll go over to first base. So do the Mariners make a change here, or do they stay with this? It's kind of odd for Scott. Scott's got to go make the change at this point. Yeah, you got to make the change. He's done enough. He's at 108 pitches. Let's call this a day. So a wonderfully pitched game by Castillo. 7 1/3 inning. Really everything that you could want to see from this guy as far as when you hoped you were bringing him to the team. Fantastic performance on his part. And very happy with the fact we got this guy locked in for the future as well on that extension. So great job. Even the Blue Jay fans giving their props to Castillo. Even them you can see giving him a little bit of a hand, standing up, going, okay, we got to acknowledge that was a well-pitched game. That was a dominantly pitched game. Nitro Hawks is the Earl Thomas fumble recovery was 2016, right? I do believe that's so. Yeah. Matt Beeler, come on, guys. You're giving Andy Dalton way too much credit. Well, remember, the last 2 seasons, a guy by the name of Colt McCoy has handily beat your same Seahawks team 2 times over. And also remember, Matt, if you go back to, in fact, I got the stat right here from last night's show. If you go back a mere 2 years of Andy Dalton when he was with the Cincinnati Bengals in the opening game of the season, he threw 35 of 51 for 418 yards and 2 touchdowns. That Andy Dalton did that against you. And that wasn't with Jamar Chase. That wasn't with T. Higgins. They had Boyd and they had the kid from Washington doing that. So he's the patient quarterback that will just dink and dunk this defense and not try to take deep shots and not try to throw into the teeth of the zone defense can have some success against this team. And I think Dalton's going to play within himself, and it's going to be really up to the Seattle Seahawks to press those short zones as much as anything else and take him out of that comfort zone. Chrono says it looks like it hit the edge of his palm. Yeah, he caught it in a bad spot there. Anywhere near your hand with all those small bones around your hand is a problematic area to have it hit. But Castillo, phenomenal performance. His location, the movement on his pitches, the variety of pitches, working the lineup where you saw none of that change first time through the lineup, and then he started to bring in the change up a little bit more after that point. Great to see. Just great to see. Kid was locked in today, and he was going to make the Blue Jays beat him. He was going to trust his stuff. He wasn't going to nibble the corners. He's going to make this Blue Jay team prove that they can hit him, and they couldn't today. Well done. So Anthony Munoz takes the hill here with a 2.49 ERA and 65 innings this year. 39% strikeout rate with the major league average being 22%. He's also below the walk rate of the major league average at 6%, where major league average is at 8%. So not only is he going to K you, he's going to work the zone as well, and he's going to do it with that absolute flamethrower of an arm that he has. You go from one guy who's hitting 98, 99 on the gun consistently to a guy that's going to hit 101, 102. Bo Bichette up to the plate here. First pitch ball, slider outside. One runner on first base. Springer. That's a 93-mile-an-hour slider. Yeah, it's much like the 90-mile-an-hour changeup of Castillo. It's kind of ridiculous. All right, Munoz. You got a 4-run lead here. Do not put anybody on. Swing and a miss. Another 93-mile-an-hour slider. Nice pitch there, low, right at the bottom of the zone. One runner one on first. Guerrero looming on deck here, one man out. Ball hit up into the air, sky deep, right at the edge of the warning track. Mitch Haniger is up with it, and he will throw it back in a second. There, out number 2. Bo Bichette give it a nice little ride there. Just not quite enough to get it out. Kronos 1009. The Seahawks defense has teeth this year? No. They got like that one good tooth. They keep trying to work the food in their mouth to that one good tooth, and eventually they'll get that thing swallowed down. Mark says the reason we are in the playoffs is you started this channel. I'd love to think that's a bit of a reason, Mark. I would. That makes me smile. Somewhere from an energy standpoint, we cast that out into the way. Guerrero steps up and takes a 103-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle of the plate. That's 103 miles an hour. Guerrero nodding his head like, damn, that was fast. I didn't even, all I saw was a tracer. I couldn't even see the pitch. You think Munoz is amped up tonight? 103. Slider misses off the plate. But thank you, Mark. Very kind of you to say. That was insane. 103 is ridiculous. It's like the Richters on an earthquake too. It's like the more digits you keep pumping past 100 miles an hour, how fast that's coming at hitters versus even like 98. 1-1. Batted foul, 1-2 on another slider there. All right, you got him 1-2. Guerrero checks with the ump to verify that was a strike. Indeed, it was. Do you come back with another slider here? You've shown Guerrero you can hit the zone with the slider. Now there's a little bit of maybe a feeling here to let me waste one here. It ain't 0-2, but let me maybe waste a slider just off the plate. Let me try to swing it past him a little bit. 1-2 pitch. Slider, again at the knees. Crawford is up with it. Throw is over, and he gets him. Crawford with a couple of very fine plays in this game. Guerrero running hard down that line. Ball wasn't hit and struck very hard, so Crawford had to really move to get to it. Good job on his part, but there we go. Let's go. Munoz gets through the inning, does his part, holds it down. And we will go into the top of the ninth inning with the Mariners up 4-0 on the Toronto Blue Jays. Ethan says the Superman speed. That's right. Osama Bin Diesel says, how many picks does famous Jameis Bakery have for Sunday? Osama, it's not Jameis, man. It's the Red Rifle. It's the Red Rifle with the beard, which is the most dangerous version of the Red Rifle. Okay? That's the rugged Red Rifle. Okay? That's the one you got to be wary of. And that's what we're dealing with, man. It's Dalton time here Sunday. The big Dalt. Old Dalton. Big Country says, can't name many that can pitch 103. I knew Aroldis Chapman could at a time. Aroldis could at one point, but you're right. There's not been many of them hitting that point on the gun. And boy, was that one of the more marvelous trades DePoto pulled off and bringing in Munoz, Ty France. That trade was so nice. 3 more Blue Jays out, says Ethan. Let's see if we can play a little add-on here. Get a couple more runs, just take away their will and spirit in this game completely. That'd be nice to see. But this game went exactly as absolutely well as you could ask for in the first game of the series as we go into this right now. You've not had to go too deep into your bullpen. Your starter's able to get the job done. You get just enough runs and some timely hitting at the point. 4 runs is enough. 4 runs will be enough in the playoffs with our starting rotation more often than not. I'll take my chances if this offense can get 4 runs. I'll take my chance with this rotation. I'll take my chances with this defense. I'll take my chances with this bullpen. If this offense can pull out 4 runs a game throughout this playoffs. Nigel Rock, I want to end the losing streak in Lambeau Field so bad, but doesn't look like we will favor them for a while. Not at least for another year, though. I will say, Nitro, I'm probably going to lean more and more into the thought process that Aaron Rodgers is potentially playing his final season here. I don't know if he's going to want to come back for another year after this. He strikes me as a guy with somewhat of kind of already a foot already out the door. Frazier steps up to the plate now, takes a first pitch strike. 4-seam fastball there. Frazier in this game, I believe, has got 1 for 3. High, ball 1. 1-1. Yeah, it's been a while since we went in Lambeau. It's been another house of horrors for our Seahawks. Frazier steps up and hits that one high and deep and back out of play. One and two. Fouls that change up off. Nice job by Frazier there to stay alive on a tough pitch. And indeed, Paul Sewald is preparing in the Seattle Mariners bullpen. Big Country says, I think Kidna was the quarterback in 99. Could be wrong. Nope. I think you're right on that one. That was the one we had it took a kick block, and I think Sean Springs returned the kick block in that game for us to pull that one out. That was Holmgren going back into Lambeau. I remember that storyline, definitely. 2-2. 4-0 Mariners here, top of the ninth inning. Nobody out. Frazier doing a good job here of fighting off this changeup. Trevor Richards is working him with it really well, and he's just fighting and fighting and fighting. Look at the Blue Jays here in this game. They've gotten through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitchers. It's the other part of this is where this has worked ideally from the Mariners standpoint, is you got into this bullpen here in this series pretty quickly, which is nice to see as well. I don't know how much you've really taxed them necessarily, but you've at least gotten into it a little bit and worked it. All right, let's see if Frazier can grind himself out a little bit of an opening walk here in this inning. He's got a 3-2 count. Pitcher steps off the rubber. Ball's batted foul. Looks like it will be in play, though. Tapia's up with it. That will be out number 1. All right. Crawford steps up to the plate here. Crawford is 0 for 2 in this game. Has drawn a walk. I believe the only walk for the Mariners in this game. Foul back on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1. Foul back again there. Change up. Boy, Richards loves his change-ups, doesn't he? If I get up against this guy, I'm just sitting dead red change-up all day long. All day long. 1-2, high on a fastball. 2-2. See, this is just the type of pitch with Crawford here where I'm thinking change. He's going to come back with that changeup. I've fouled it off a couple times. I've been out in front. He's going to think he can catch me again. He threw a curveball. Okay. Misses. 3-2. Well, decent job by Frazier and Crawford out the gate, working these counts, giving some good at-bats, fighting off some tough pitches too. So 3-2, he just threw a curve. Does he come back with a four-seamer if I'm Crawford? This is the point where it's really hard on a batter for this with a pitcher who's this much in on a change, because there's such a different amount of speeds between the 95 to 85, what you're going to get on that change. And you got to kind of sit one or the other. It looks like he was sitting change because he looked like he was going to try to amp up for the change there. He took a walk a little bit inside. Very nice at bat there by Crawford. This gives you Julio Rodriguez stepping up to the plate now with a runner on. And Julio in this game hit a couple of times and a base hit. See if he can put one out in the seats here and put this game away. Put this to bed. See Wald or not. They got this weird graphic thing that they're doing with the telecast where when they cut between shots, they have dirt being thrown for no reason as just a transparent GIF that they throw over the top of, like, instead of a dissolve, it's like somebody's throwing like a can of dirt. Like, I don't know what they're going for mood-wise with that one, but it's not working. Ethan says Simber is the literal diagonal pitcher, not sidearm, diagonal. Kid, kind of annoying. Yeah, he is a little bit over the top. Just a wee bit over the top. Are they going to change the pitcher again here? Are the Blue Jays? Are they going to go through their whole bullpen this game? Everybody gets a chance. Oh, that's why you're saying Simber. Like, that's not the last pitcher. Okay. Diagonal pitcher, huh? Do. Blue Jay manager doing what he can in this game. We got Gilbert going tomorrow, right? It's Gilbert, then it's Ray. Or are we going to try to do a Ray where we put Ray between Gilbert and Castillo to give like in between arm? Adam Simber now out for the Blue Jays. 2.80 ERA this year with 70 innings. 20% strikeout rate. League average is 22%. Carter says, seems like none of their pitchers are feeling perfect tonight. No, I haven't seen that. I've seen the same thing. It did definitely, even with Manoah, he just didn't look comfortable to start this game. I thought it was a little bit of nerves, but he settled down and he was able to kind of tough out a day where he probably didn't have his best stuff. But certainly there's the bullpen guys have kind of been around. They've held it down relatively well, but it's been a bumpy ride getting there for him. Simber set, and boy, yeah, he's got quite a weird delivery, doesn't he? Julio, first pitch swinging, hits this up into the air. And that's going to be out. Number 2. Julio just kind of free swinging there at that one, and he's kind of kicking himself. Like, man. And yeah, you're not kidding about that sidearm. He's very close to being submarine-y. He's not submarine. A little more than sidearm. Simber's definitely tough on those right-handed hitters. You know, the Blue Jays come back in this game. You're going to have to give the Blue Jay manager a lot of props for how he's handled his bullpen and attacked the Mariner lineup through the depth of this game. France first pitch swinging as well and hits the ball back. Very aggressive bats tonight from these Mariner hitters. They were definitely not looking to walk their way on. Blue Jays will have Alejandro Kirk, Toscar, Hernandez, and Chapman up at the plate to begin next inning off against Seawald. Can that guy's necklace get any longer? This ball's batted on the ground. It'll be an easy play for the second baseman. Toss over to Vladimir Guerrero, and that will retire the side here in the inning. So Crawford able to get on with a walk, but Seattle's not able to bring him home. Mariners have left 15 runners on base in this game. They've had a lot of other opportunities here to drive in more runs than where they're sitting right now at merely 4-0. Hopefully this will prove to be enough. You've got your closer coming out for the 9th inning. You would think that this would be enough. We will see here how it goes. Bear with me. I got to be right back. All right, an interesting choice here by Scott Service. It looks like he's going to go with Munoz here for the 9th inning. Ray then Gilbert says Kronos. Okay, that makes sense. They may want to go from a power arm to a not as power arm, then back to a power arm. Kind of put him, try to keep him off a little bit on that. And the human trash can will walk up the plate here is Kirk Alejandro. Big, thick, big old boy. Bursting out of the seams of his jersey. Quickly 0-1 here from Munoz. Fastball there. Strike. That nasty slider down near his ankle tops there. Not ankle, but really bottom of the knees. Just great pitch. No hitter is going to be able to do anything with that. Bottom of the zone, edge of the plate. Beautiful pitch there by Munoz. 0-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Comes right back with another slider. Again, another one low right at the knees there. You're not doing anything with that pitch. You already got to torque yourself up for that fastball, which is coming at some point. Swung right through it. Not even close on that pitch was Kirk. Well done. 1 out. Bottom of the 9th inning. Mariners up 4-0. Opening game of this wild card series. Hernandez steps up to the plate. First pitch slider inside corner strike. Munoz is finding the zone, and he's finding it around the corners of the plate. He does that. You could say he is nigh unhittable. 0-1. It's another slider fouled back. Again, bottom of the zone. Perfect ball placement. Perfect location. Hernandez quickly down 0-2. Already 0 for 3 in this game. Munoz finding his spots. Finding his spots here. Outside, comes back with the fastball. That wouldn't have been fair. You start me out with 2 sliders and then hit. Don't even waste a pitch and come right back with the heat. 1-2. You got to feel this is probably going to be another slider here. That was sort of just a show me fastball. 1-2. Indeed, it is a slider in the dirt. 2-2. Back the slider again here. 3 of these 4 pitches have been sliders. That one he just overthrew a little bit. Two count. 1 man out. Bottom of the 9th inning. Swing and a miss. Another nasty slider. This one right down Main Street. Still couldn't do anything with it. Center of the plate. Tons of movement on it. Swung right through it. 2 men out. Mariners are on the edge of taking the opening game of this series. Best of 3 series. Making it all that much more important of a game to take in the opener. Munoz looks in. 2 men down, Chapman up to the plate. Strike, slider, top of the zone. He's definitely feeling that slider, much like we saw with Manoah. He's feeling his placement on it, and he's trusting it right now. 0-1 pitch. Another slider. This hit down the line. Fair. This is going to get into the corner. Maybe did a little too much slider. Too much slider. Too much slider. And that will be a double. Oh, he was all over that pitch. And much like the first pitch that he threw to him on that slider, the big difference there is he left it high. Can't have that slider up there consistently, or that will get hammered like that. Munoz just lost a little bit of the zone there on that pitch with that. So this will bring up Ramel Tapia, who's 0 for 3 in this game. Really was struggling against Castillo. Slider is going to get back to the backstop. The runner will get to third here. Cal just couldn't quite come up with it. Probably a bit of a passed ball on that one. He just kind of was a little low key in the effort and getting to that ball. Munoz has kind of lost a little bit on the field on the slider just in the last couple of pitches here a bit. A little overthrowing, getting a little high. That was almost like a little bit of a course correction off the one that got smashed a little bit. I got to get this worked back down in the zone. 1-0 pitch here. 2 men out. Bottom of the 9th inning. Batted back foul. Looks like he's got his location back into lowering that slider down with his plane. Big Country says, glad we found our next Diaz. Yeah, he will be the future closer, Will Munoz, when it's all said and done. And we'll be in very good hands with it, I believe, at that time. 1-1 pitch. Runner on third, 2 men out, bottom of the 9th. Oh, we got a good call there. 102-mile-an-hour fastball that was well below the kneecaps. Middle of the plate, definitely a ball, was called a strike. I will give the umpire credit in this game. He has had a wide zone, but he has had a wide zone for both teams. That was well 2-3 inches outside, and the Toronto Blue Jay manager just shaking his head. A lot of Mariner fans in that stadium. A lot of Mariner shirts. It's encouraging. 1-2 count. Probably comes back with a slider here. He's been featuring it a lot in this at-bat already. Just don't mess about. Batter taking a lot of time to get back into the batter's box. 1-2 pitch. Foul back. Still will remain 1-2. All right, 1-2. See what he's got for him here. Munoz gets set. The pitch, batted on the ground, right to Frazier. He's up with it. Over, out, game over. Mariners take the opening game of the series. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly, what an awesome game. Mariners with a very, very impressive game to start things out here. No doubt about it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well, let's break this down really quickly as far as a win goes for the Mariners. First person that you've got to talk of out the gate in this game is Luis Castillo. You made the trade for this guy to be the top-end rotation starter, yes. To be your ace, yes. But also within that, to be the type of pitcher that can go against an October lineup in the postseason and be able to potentially still dominate those type of teams. And that's what he did tonight. You went in against a very tough Toronto lineup, one of the toughest lineups in the AL, and he shut those bats down. And he didn't by necessarily just using his stuff wildly to try to get them to swing out of zones with the free swingers in this lineup. Instead, he pumped the zone. Instead, he worked the zone. Instead, he was going to make the Blue Jays say, okay, let's see, I'm going to hit the strike zone, but I think my movement is still going to overcome you. I don't think that you're going to be able to do that, and I'm going to mix my pitches up. You're never really going to be able to sit down and squat up on just one pitch that I'm throwing you. Fantastic job on his part of really mixing those pitches, trusting his stuff to hit that zone in a playoff series like this. Make them beat you. Don't give them free passes. Don't give them easy bases on that side of it. He was wonderful. I mentioned at the top as well, when he came through about the second, third time through that lineup, he started to work in the changeup a little bit more, where before that it was really just the fastball slider early on through the first part of the lineup. Great job on his part. Ball locating, changing it up. This is what you hope you get from an ace. And that is just what we have. An awesome trade, well worth the prospects of what we gave up, and well worth the money that we're going to be paying Castillo into the future, because he's showing you he is going to be that guy. Offensively speaking today, It was a little bit of what you've dealt with throughout the course of this year, quite frankly. Most of your runs were relying on the big ball. I mean, 2 of them came from Cal Raleigh's the big dumper shot, giving you the 2 runs there. That's what it's been like over the course of this year, hasn't it? It's been the let's get a home run at some time. Let's get a key home run at a key moment of the game. You got a couple other runs manufactured through this game, which was nice to see as well. But also you saw the same old story play out over the course of the season, which is that there's too many runners left on base when you look at it. 15 runners left on base in this game. Odd to see. They were able to draw 2 walks for 6 strikeouts, which is a little bit of a closer disparity than you normally get in that realm as well, because you'll sometimes have 10, 11, 12, 13 strikeouts and 2 or 3 walks. So you've got to give them some credit in the fact that they were at least putting a little bit more balls in play. But shows you how well you won this game, how much you kind of had room for error in this game. You got those 4 runs, and it could have been even worse for this Toronto team. I think Manoah was coming out just a little bit rough for them and not with his A-plus stuff, and he was kind of having to feel his way through the start. But give Scott Service a lot of credit for raising Cal Raleigh up in that lineup. You were really right-handed heavy, and you wanted to inject that one lefty in at one spot in the middle of that order to give your chance a little bit of power there, to give it a little bit of a change to the pitcher. Raleigh was able to do that with his placement in the lineup there, and he's been one of the more timely home run hitting guys in this lineup, and that's in a lineup of a lot of guys who've hit some a lot of timely home runs, from Eugenio Suarez to Julio Rodriguez and a few others even beyond that. But he's been one of those main guys, the guy that helped clinch us and get us in the playoffs again. He calls a great game behind the plate. He catches, he frames pitches really well. The pitchers love to throw to him. There's a reason the staff is as good as they are, and a lot of times you can go back and look at the catcher when you're trying to find out those reasons as well. How is the catcher? Why is the staff so dominant? Well, they've got a good backstop back there, and we got one hell of a backstop back there. So, but how about that home run by him? But you took the first game of this series. It's a 3-game series, not a 5-game series like has been in the past in postseason baseball, meaning the Blue Jays have got to get on their horse, and they got to get on their horse really fast. A very, very big-time win here for your Mariners here in this series. If you do come away with the win in this series as well, sets the stage for Castillo being able to be the first pitcher for you in the next series as well. Now we're going to have Robbie Ray taking the hill tomorrow. So we'll see if our Mariners are going to be able to come back in that potential game. The other one thing I want to give credit to is the defense in this game. That's the 2 other aspects, the three main aspects I said that you could lean on this postseason as you went into it. 3 things that we're going to carry through with you, that have been with you through over the course of the season. Great starting pitching, great bullpen, great defense. You got all 3 of those things in this particular game. You fielded it a very clean game. Crawford over at shortstop have a couple times where he was tested. He came up and made some good throws off of those kind of just weird kind of hops. Eugenio had a play he made out in the field, which was similarly well played on his throw then over to first base. So then again, we got to go back and give props to the defense. And again, between those 3 aspects, great starting pitching, great bullpen, great fielding, that is the stuff that can carry you forward. That's the stuff that carries you forward deep into the playoffs and can even take you to the World Series. So we're not putting any top end on this season. We're not saying, oh, well, it's good enough we got in. It's good enough we get our cup of coffee or cup of tea here in the playoffs this year, and then next year we'll go for it then. No. We're going for it now. We got the team to go get this done right now. So get hyped, Mariner fans. Have that hope. Dream big. Dream large. Because it's absolutely well within our grasp here. And they just set the stage. They just set the tone. They just hit that first note on the guitar with that first sweet lick. And maybe the rest of this postseason, they can keep that energy going. This is the team we saw this year. This is the blueprint for the wins that we've seen this year. Played out just like that in this game, didn't it? Exactly the same way. Lean on the home run ball, great starting pitching. Bullpen comes in and closes it up shop. And you get your starting pitching and defense with it on the other side of it. So fantastic job by our team today. Let's get a couple of your guys' final thoughts on this, and we will wrap this up a little bit and then be, of course, back at it tomorrow, because I will be streaming tomorrow as well. But what a fantastic job. Let's go. Let's go. Ethan says, absolutely sensational pitching performance. Fantastic. He showed you. It's why I've said about him, he draws to me parallels in my mind to Luis Castillo of a Pedro Martinez. Very similar kind of leg motion and the way the ball comes out. And the way that they get so much movement on pitches that also are so thrown so hard. He's 99 miles an hour and it's got movement. He is the guy that is in that kind of realm, and it was wonderful to see from him. And just again, Dipoto killed it this season, all off season with some of his moves, and it's just everywhere he's touching is kind of turning to gold. Wu-Tang says our pitching was just spicy today. It was. And we only went 2 pitchers deep, so you got the bullpen as well rested up here for these next 2 games if you need them however you need them. If Robbie comes out tomorrow and he's a little shaky, you've got some backup in place to help him out and hold it back down. James Black says, good game. Easy. That's right. We did come to play, Ethan. Y2K says, no, it's time. It's time. It's Robbie Ray's revenge. That's right. Robbie Ray, who was a Toronto Blue Jay last year and won the Cy Young for them. We signed him from them, and he's been a good overall addition for us. I think we look at that contract and feel pretty good about it. It's not insane money that we gave him. He's going to be a solid pitcher for us into the future, and hopefully he can dial up that playoff mold that we're looking for from him here tomorrow, because we'd love to see another performance like we saw today, brought down once again. James Black, Castillo is a true ace. Let's go M's and get the series clinched tomorrow. Let's do it. Let's just close this up tomorrow. Let's finish this up, get a little bit more time to rest then for the next series. We'll be good to go. Let's just wrap this up. Let's not mess around. Let's not play with it, Let's put on our game faces and go. Osama Ben Diesel says the Mariners have never lost a playoff game outside the U.S. Very true. Very, very, very true. The CUDA 70, they do not give the teams enough days till these playoff games start. Yeah, maybe not. I think they're worried about the weather, CUDA, where they think the closer we're going to get to November time period here, the faster that the situation is going to find us where we're going to have some real cold weather games, which is not fun baseball to play in at all. I think that's their thing they're mainly trying to avoid, but to your point, they're trying to get in as many games as they can as fast as they can. And yeah, Ethan, the ump in this game was something else. Something else. King Boogeyman Nation, first win since 2001. First playoff win since 2001. It's been a long time. Y2K, Mariners, yay. Cal's OP. He is. James Black, Castillo is a true ace. Let's go M's. Get the series clinched tomorrow. Let's do it. Let's do it. Y2K, I'm pumped. You should be pumped. You should be pumped, man. You should be pumped. Credible game. Awesome to see. And again, one of the more funner Mariner years that we've ever gotten to watch. There's a lot of seasons this franchise history that we've not had a good time. It's not been a good run. It's been a lot of tough baseball to watch. It's been a lot of we're not playing for anything even in mid-August. This is not that team. This is the team that is giving you that excitement, that's giving you that magic, tied the franchise record for most walk-off wins. Close games every which way. They don't get tight when the things get down, when the stakes get high. They're well acquainted. They're well suited for playoff baseball. They're not front-runner types. We know we got to grind this out. We know that's playoff baseball. They've got the type of team that can succeed. They do. They've set it up right with this team. And they brought it to bear today. Andrew Haney, one more, Andrew. One more. And we're on to the next round. And a mere series away. Start to get very, very close there to the 2 series away from World Series at that point. I'm not going to dream too large yet. We got more work to do. There's more to be done here, okay? No doubt about it. So, I've got to acknowledge that. That's to be certain. But for now, I'm going to dream a little bit big because this is an awesome win. This kind of win, we didn't just luck through this win. We fit to winning this game of how we win games. So I make myself huge. How we win games. Great job. Great job by this team. Let me see if I can use this one. I want to make sure I get there we go. Don't want to get in trouble with them playing some video in the background. I get hit. But be enthused, folks. And again, don't dream small on this team. Don't just be happy with getting the playoffs. We might be able to be capable of doing more. We've done this all year. This has been the blueprint. Why can't we make it more of the blueprint going forward to future games through the rest of this playoffs? Daniel W. says, did Major League Baseball expand the playoffs? Why did they lower the first round from 5 to 3 games? Unusual to see money left on the table. They'll probably eventually, Daniel, get to the elongating the games. But yes, the first step in the process of them doing what they're doing here, where they did you've got 3 wild card teams getting in now. Whereas before you had the 1 wild card team. So the one wild card team used to play the best division winner, and then you had the other two divisions would have to face off of each other. So they have expanded it. And they'll get to that eventual 5 games. I kind of like Daniel, the wild card team's only playing the 3-game series. I feel like I kind of like that setup a little bit. It puts a little bit more of that sense of urgency. Whereas like with with NBA basketball, you'll sometimes get those 5-game series early on, and it just makes the playoffs take forever. But Inlet says Julio and Luis, both of them were very good today. Julio taking a couple for the team there. A couple of baseballs in the grill for the team. But he did indeed do that. Sam the Great, it was dumb to see only 4 teams make it back in the day. Yeah, Sam, I agree. There is a point where you can saturate it too far in certain leagues, and you can make it to where it's too much of an issue as far as there being too many teams make the playoffs, and the regular season just doesn't matter. But the regular season matters in Major League Baseball, and it still matters with putting a couple extra teams in like they have here. I like this. I like the way they've expanded this. I like how they put this together. It's pretty smartly done. This is how baseball can help itself grow itself. Big Country, 103 wins. Giants missed the playoffs at a time, laughing out loud. That's a brutal. 103 games and miss the playoffs. Jeez. That would be frustrating. Very, very frustrating as a fan. Well, hey guys, we had a great show here on the day. I'm going to wrap this one up. We will be back at it tomorrow with the Mariner playoff game that's going. So do please come back and join the stream tomorrow, as I would really appreciate it. Another good turnout in here. If you're not subscribed already, please do get subscribed to the stream. I would really do appreciate it. But again, keep dreaming large. Keep dreaming big. Don't set our sights low. Set our sights high. This team is fun to watch, and they are capable of anything, even the World Series. I'm going to dream that large. Let's ride together. Let's see what they can do. It's going to be a good night. Have a smile on your face, Mariner fans. You got a good Mariner team, not just in the now, but moving in the future, and that's a wonderful thing to see. My name is Brandon Kane. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe, but please do not ever, ever forget. Go Mariners.